Shit. Okay. I gotta start over now. Either way, I'm still muted. So, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Knowledge and Relationships. This is your boy M3. So tonight we're gonna go over a topic, and it's called 36 Tinder opening lines to make conversation. Go ahead and play some music as always. Just up the mood. You feel me? Let's go to this one. Let's see. All right. So salutes to everybody on the team. DJ the King, Intellectual SoapBox, QueBee, Tammy, what? OG Patrice. Shouts to Lola, Stan, Joseph Lee. That's what I usually call him. Shouts to Asul Baya. Shouts to even like some of the new people who are helping us out behind the scenes and all. Shouts to you guys as well. So, anyways, I gotta give a thanks to Vic because Vic did left something endearing, but unfortunately it wasn't recorded on the StreamYard. But he was basically saying congratulations on our first 1K. Thank you so much. And then also shout outs to the Harrison Tribe Media Group. Salutes to Mr. and Mrs. He said. He said, she said. And then salutes to Cool Gamer. Thank you for tuning in. Shout outs to the people on the YouTube side. And, you know, we'll get a shout outs when people come over to the Twitch. Well, when people from Twitch come by too. But anyways, shout outs to folks like on Facebook as well. So let's go ahead and get things started, all right? Let me go ahead and do a screen share. All right, so this is like mostly for advice for the single people, single men and women. Now, keep in mind, I don't use dating apps. I'm already married, so there's no need for me to log into like a Tinder app and try to use that. But I find these pickup lines to be universal. They don't always have to go towards for Tinder, but you could also use these lines, you know, for, you know, your first opening when you meet someone. A lot of people, they use Instagram for dating. So you can do whatever you want to do. Now, for the people who are tuning in, as always, please get the likes up, everybody. Like and subscribe to the content, and definitely share it with your friends and family. All right? Just waiting for more people to come on board. All right. Let's go ahead and start this. So, 36 best Tinder opening lines, okay, for sparking up conversations by Acomia. Let's see, Acomia Deadwater or Wilder. I forgot how to pronounce her name already, but basically, she's the one who wrote this article, and you know, it starts with saying like, you know, you swipe right, they swipe right. But now what? Great Tinder opening lines can often determine whether you pique the interest of your match or left on red, forgotten in the sea of the other dead end connections. If you're not sure what to say to help you stand out from the crowd, we have some experts here to help. Okay. I'm just now noticing. Wow, YouTube is pretty late sending notifications. Your stream already started seven minutes ago, and I'm just now receiving the notification. So hold on. All right. How many people we have in the chat? All right, hold on for a second. All right. All right, before I get started on the article, because I don't want to read the article and no one's here yet. So let's give about like I'm gonna play like an intermission for a second. I'm gonna play it real early. So I'm gonna stop the music real quick. All right. We got two people watching on YouTube. We have one person watching on Twitch. Okay. Let's wait until we get the engagement up. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna play the intermission until more people arrive. I think what's going on, the algorithm is pushing this a little slow. So let's not just jump ahead before more people show up, all right? All right, let's go ahead and play the intermission. All right, let's see how many people are watching this. All right, not enough people, but you know what? We at least have two people that's watching. So to me, I'll say, hey, that's good enough for now. I'm going to continue on with the article, read it to you guys, and then hopefully more people will show up. So in the meantime, as always, please keep liking, sharing the videos because it helps, the algorithm up and to build more attention. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So let's see. So Tinder opening lines can often determine whether you pique the interest of your match or left from red. Forgotten in the sea of other dead-end connections. If you're not sure what to say to help you stand out from the crowd, we have some experts here to help. Now, the main thing, okay, in any opening conversation, all right, whenever you're dealing with social media, all right, don't start off by saying hi or hey. Hold on. Man, my throat was already getting dry. All right. The reason why it's not good to say hi or hey as your opener, because it doesn't make you stand out from the crowd. All these so-called unique opening pickup lines is supposed to help you stand out from the rest. Okay? Jamie Bornstein, a licensed therapist and author of Manifesting, okay, with an asterisk. You want to be the person to know that you want the person to know that you're interested. And writing one or two words will be perceived as you don't care and have zero investment in actually making a connection. If you want a response, you need to put some effort into your opening line. Okay? So the way how you open and the way how you close is definitely important. But since we're talking about opening lines, let's go. Below are some suggestions for great Tinder opening lines. Just make sure to tweak them to be more relevant to the person you're writing to and written in your voice to make them more personal. Okay, here we go with the best Tinder lines. Let's see. The first one. What's the one thing I should know before I ask you out? Okay. I could say like this one is it's a good start. Um, if I could rate some of the things between 1 to 3 stars, like one being like the worst, the other one being like okay, it's moderate, it's cool, fair, and number three just being like okay, like I like that. I'll say I'll give it like a 2 stars because the thing is, it's the delivery that matters. Okay, it's a good start, sparks some intrigue, some good conversation to it. So what should I know before acting out? And exudes a little bit of confidence. Okay. So let's see. Capture the immediate attention of the person you match with. Show a glimpse of your personality. Elicit a favorable response. Okay. This line, this line achieves all three good goals by showing that you're thoughtful and you want to learn more about your match. Okay? You plan to take them on a date. Oh, and you plan to take them on a date. All right? So that's the other thing. So you're making your intentions also known as well too, by the way. All right, the second one. What made you so into traveling? Okay. So, as it says, sub out traveling for whatever's on their profile. If you're uncomfortable using a pre-drafted first message, then you're on the right track. Open lines are always more successful when they're personalized. That's why Boystein suggests asking a person about their profile. You want to give the person something to respond to. You want to ask a question about a particular picture or something they wrote in the profile. For example, if someone mentions they love traveling, ask them why they love it, what they love about it, where they want to travel to. It's important to kind of like ask those type of questions if you run to somebody that maybe has traveling pictures or expresses like their love for travel. So make sure that you ask those type of questions so that way you could spark up a conversation about it. All right. The other one is, so you're a QT, means quality time, but it's the way how you're saying it. Like, oh, okay, you're a QT type of girl, and I love quality time. How's your day going? Okay, it says I always recommend being genuine, real, and sincere. Boyson says, give someone a compliment. Who doesn't like compliments? If they're interested, they will respond by saying thank you, and then they will compliment you back. Well, we'll see. Now these days, people just say thanks and they'll just leave like that. This is a playful remark that still gets your point across. Maybe. Let's see. The other one is, you should be proud of your smile. I would love to know what makes you tick. That's kind of like, that's a little overrated. I would give that a 1 star. The QT part, I'll give it 2 stars. Traveling, I'll give it like 3 stars on that one because it could be anything. You could kind of switch it up. And the other one says you should be proud of your smile. I would love to know what makes you tick. I'll give that a 1 star because, like, being the worst, I feel like it's kind of like a gimmick type of pickup line. I think that's kind of weak. A lot of people will talk about a woman's smile even though they don't really mean it. So, Carl echoes the effectiveness of compliments and recommends following up by stating your intention. This line is a unique way to tell someone they have a nice smile, but doesn't stop there. it makes clear that you're not just interested in how your match looks, and you would like to get to know him as well. I mean, it's still, about looks though. You look at a person and you got a nice smile. Salutes to Daryl Long. Thanks for tuning in, brother. All right. Oh, bit my gum. That's not good.
Chris.
Oh, let me hide this little ad. Okay, cool. All right, so in this one, your profile is refreshing. I look forward to learning more about you. You know what? I'll actually give that a 3. I feel like it's a little bit more serious, and you still let your intention be known that you're looking to get to know her. And I think any woman will be more inclined to pretty much. Well, I think they'll be more interested in a guy who's looking forward to get to know them, as opposed to what they see on the outside. So I think that's a cool, starter right there. So it's flattering to hear that essentially you're different from the rest. Even the best dating apps can get monotonous with so many people saying similar things. So if you come across a particularly interesting bio and someone who looks have to put a little extra effort into their profile, let them know it's appreciated. So, anytime you see someone and, on the profile and, they went to that extra step, yeah, acknowledge that. All right. What's the most important attribute to look for a potential partner? I'll give that I don't know if I should get out of 1 or 2. But let's see. This lets your match know right off the gate that you're looking to establish meaningful connection. It saves them guesswork of trying to figure out what you're looking for. It also shows that what they want is important to you. Yeah, but I feel like it's a little pushy though. If they don't like you like that, they won't act well, they probably will just reject you. Most women would probably want a guy to slow down if that's not the one that they're initially looking for right now in the moment. So, I don't know. It gives out needy vibes to me, in my opinion. I mean, it's a straightforward question. Yeah, that's not my thing. I think those are the type of questions that you should ask. Maybe on a date or something. All right. What beach is that in your profile picture? I'll give it a 1. I mean, it's a good question, but yeah, I don't know. Adopt this one depending on what photos your match actually has on their profile. But as Boystein notes, getting specific about something in someone's profile is a great way to make them feel like you're actually interested in them. Especially, this method can be, specifically I meant, this method can be especially useful if you match with someone in no bio. Okay. With almost no information about the person, you can ask where they were in a vacation photo, or how long they had the pup featured in the picture with them. As Bornstein notes, even though there's not much to work with, there's always you'll always find something to ask a question about. All right. The other one is, do you feel happiness? Do you feel happiness? Do you feel happiest? Do you feel happiest? That's a good question to start off. Do you feel happiest? Mm, maybe like okay, in a jokey type of sense. I don't know. It that don't sound like a good opener to me. To be honest with you, it sounds like kind of like a cornball type of question. But anyways, I'll give it a one. So we love to talk about ourselves. Anytime you ask a question that gives someone this opportunity, it helps move the conversation along. You don't want the exchange to feel like an interview. However, follow up with these statements and observations that allow the conversation to flow naturally. But do you feel happiest? They're gonna get confused and be like, what? So shout out to Mr. Glucose. Thank you for tuning in, my brother. It sounds sarcastic, right? It it kind of does, but I don't know. To me, like it's like one of like the weakest, opening lines that I can really think of, and it just doesn't really flow well. You just can't bridge the articulation into it. Do you feel your happiness? Also, like if you hear me say like I'm giving 1 star, that's the worst. 2 stars is pretty much at a fairground. 3 stars is like, okay, I actually like this line. All right. But thank you for tuning in, bro. Let me see. So the other thing is that like, okay, what's been the best part of your day? I'll give her a 3. What's been the best part of your day? Like, it's something that's like you're asking them something that's more positive. You're not asking like, okay, well, how's your day going? Like, what's been bad, whatever. You're just asking what's been the best part of your day. So if they was feeling something, you bring them into a space where now they're feeling comfortable, like they're feeling at ease, because you're uplifting them. You know what I mean? You're bringing that positive atmosphere around you. So if you're lucky, they'll start matching with you. At the very least, this opener gives them something to think about and demonstrates genuine interest. That's what I like about that. All right. And in chat, let me know about like, whether if you consider it to be 3 stars, or 2 stars, or 1 star. Let me know your thoughts. And then if you guys want to come up, just let me know, and I'll definitely post a link to you. Excuse me. The other one is tell me about the last time you fell in love. Okay. I'll give this a 3, but this is where I will say, if you use this for humor, yes, bingo. That's like pretty much to me, that's like a cool, funny line, and it's a little sarcastic. Like, tell me about the last time you fell in love. Mr. Glucose says, best funny line of mine, call me Jerry girl. Okay, call me Jerry girl because I make your toes curl. Oh, okay, I like that. Oh, I make your toes curl. That's a cool. See, that's a cool, playful line that you can start off with. So I respect that. Matter of fact, you know what, Mr. Glucose, I'm gonna send a link to you right now. I feel like you need to come up with me, brother. Hopefully you're able to cam up too. But yeah, go ahead and join the panel, Mr. Glucose, if you have some time available. All right. Now the other one is, I believe in love at first sight. What about you? Again, I think we're at this is not even the funny moments. Oh shoot, okay. Now I will say this: if you are serious about this part and you try to be serious with that part, I will let you know like you'll sound ridiculous. But if you come across as a little bit playful and you're saying these type of lines and they understand that you're joking around, they could actually warm up to you a lot more as opposed to trying to be serious about it. Otherwise, it just make you sound weird. Okay, Google said, I'm at work listening. Oh, hold on. Damn, Google. Mr. Google says, I'm at work listening. I'm off Wednesday and Thursday. Okay. Hey, stay tuned for our Thursday show. It's going to be a little bit late. We're testing out like the algorithm, but our Thursday show, we're going to be streaming at 9 o'clock Pacific time. So hopefully you'll be up by then. Okay. So the other one is, so they said sometimes a more lighthearted opening line is perfect to get someone's attention. Maybe they believe in it too, or maybe they don't. Maybe the line simply makes your match smile. Either way, you're giving them an opening to engage. Okay. I'm never sure what to say here, but wanted to let you know I'm interested in getting to know you. I'll give it a 2. Like, I like the fact that it's straightforward, but however, you're pretty much letting a girl know that you're not ready for sure of yourself. Like, you're not ready for sure what to really say. So you come across as a person that doesn't really plan out. Like when it comes to dates and events, you come across as a person who lacks that drive, that mindset. You know what I mean? Anytime you start with saying I'm never sure, and women hate, guys who are very uncertain. Maybe I'm just going too deep with it, but that's how I'm looking at it. But it's honest, it's vulnerable, it's direct. Often that takes it all. So, okay. Like I said, I'll give it a 2, to be fair. Okay, now it's the funny Tinder opening lines, which I'm not gonna lie, I thought these two was in the funny category, but if it's in the serious category, I'm like, bro, you need some help. Are you a fan of shriveled fruit? Not me, but want to go on a date? People who makes us laugh are fun to be around. All right. Keep in mind, don't take this advice as far as being like a class A clown. You know what I mean? Women can see confidence in a man. Yeah, definitely. And I need to get some water real quick. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. Tell you, man, we really be making my throat like a sore. So usually when I'm reading, I usually read silently, but reading it out loud, especially with this headphones on my ear, doesn't sound right. But anyways, they say telling a corny joke. I'm like, hold on. It's a great way to get someone to let the guard down. It instantly shows that you don't take yourself too seriously, and it takes some pressure off the interaction. Okay. Fellas, right? What do you guys think about this one, right? Okay. The first line right here. Telling a corny. Why couldn't it just be like a joke? Just something that's funny. But you're telling people, tell a corny, okay? A corny joke is a great way to let someone. It's a great way to get someone to let their guard down. Okay. To me, the most corniest guys. All right. Don't make it to the bedroom. I'm sorry. Like if you think that you're gonna just tell a bunch of corny jokes in hopes that the woman's gonna be all head over heels for you and sees you as a good person, I mean, she'll see you as a funny person, but she'll also see you as a person that she can't really be serious with. If that makes sense. So I gotta give that a 1. Okay, you look familiar. Then we go to the same college. I could have sworn we had chemistry together. Get it? Chemistry? Coming through with a funny icebreaker that's also clever can help you seem charming and witty, and both admirable traits. Okay? Miss Ghost says corny jokes work in a realtor store setting. Yeah, for real. Like I said, man, like you could tell a corny joke or whatever, but honestly, you gotta expect that, most women are not gonna really take you seriously, especially if you overdo it. Maybe first two corny jokes you kind of get away with it, but only if the attraction's already there. You know what I mean? If she's already highly attracted to you, man, you could say all kinds of corny shit, and she will still laugh at it. Like you'll see all of her teeth showing. You know what I mean? The tonsils of her mouth and all that. But to use that as an opening line, like it don't really work like that sometimes. Ace of facts. You know what I mean? Now, I like the chemistry part. Okay? You look familiar. Did we go to the same college? I could have sworn we had chemistry together. You know what I mean? I feel like that's kind of smooth a little bit. Especially, if you're a cars guy or whatever, like that's a good cars pickup line. So, and if she gets the joke, chemistry, she's definitely gonna laugh at that, and it doesn't make you seem stupid. No more than 2. Right. Maybe no more than 2 jokes like within like a day or a week or something like that. Just don't overdo it. Now the other one, this is corny as hell. Look at this ridiculous opening. Roses are red, violets are blue. You look like you could be my future boo. Okay? So right off right there in that part, like I said, I know you're trying to rhyme like that. And most people will actually say roses are red, violets are blue, just to be, go a little bit mild with the funniness. So I get that. And it shows some type of humor to it. But the roses are red and violets are blue, that stuff is overrated. There are many ways to wax poet. But none more disarming than doing so with a touch of humor. This is a cute line to make your match blush without going over the top with creative expression. Plus, it stably implies that you're not just on a top app wasting time, but you're looking for a special someone. Let me see. What else? The other one says, if people ask how we met, what should we tell them? Okay. If people ask, what should we tell them? So, as mainstream as dating apps have become in recent years, some are still a bit self-conscious about using them, or rather self-conscious about other people knowing they're using dating apps. Have fun coming up with a more traditional first meeting story. Maybe the best grocery Wait, maybe the best grocery store, gym, or coffee shop win. Hmm. Okay. Um. Yeah, I'll give it a two. It does kind of like it's a little bit relatable by a tad bit. I'll say that. All right. So the next one is if we hit it off. Let's say it was fate that we met sitting next to a beach, sitting next to each other on an airplane. So basically, okay, it was fate that we're meeting next to each other on an airplane. If we hit it off, okay. Here's a ready-made alternative meeting story that you can present to your match. The idea of this fate is romantic, while the airplane adds a sense of adventure, and very least, the two of you guys can laugh about the suggestion and agree to tell everyone the truth. To me, I think that's a little extra. I don't know. I'll give it one. What do you like better, Hawaiian or barbecue chicken pizza? I give it a two because it's just random. It's definitely like just a random question to ask, and I know it's meant to be funny, but it's a good way to kind of let the woman's guard down a little bit. It's such a random question that is humorous. Sorry, that's humorous. Hold on. When you're first matched with someone, light and easygoing dialogue can work in your favor. This is especially true with a person who's on the fence about you. Try to develop a rapport and dive into heavier topics once you sense that they're enjoying the exchange. And the other one says you can delete the app now. You found me. The implication that your match has found a person, even in just its intriguing, also confidence is attractive. Okay, so on that part, right? I think that's like that's a surefire way to kind of start with an opening. It shows it may come off as cocky, but it shows you have confidence. You know what I mean? So you're like, hey, you found me, you found the right person. I'm just gonna just tell you, you don't even gotta ask or question it. So you might as well delete the app now. And it brings some type of humor to it. All right, let's see. The other one, more than 75 million profiles and we match with each other. That's some kind of sign, right? No, that's kind of lame. Shedding light on the vastness of Tinder community and the odds of a successful match is comical in itself. It lends, credence to the idea that maybe it's not a reach to consider the connection of a more profound sign. I give that a 1. And then we got Sir Hill in the building. Sir Hill speaks, salutes, man. Thank you for tuning in. He says, what's good, chat? Sir Hill, thank you for tuning in into Knowledge Relationships. If you want to join me on this, these opening lines for Tinder, for the single folks, feel free to let me know. I'll definitely post the link up. As a matter of fact, let me just do that right now. I'm going to post the link in the chat. And anybody that wants to tune in, feel free to come up. I'm going to make sure I pin this to the top. So feel free to hop in there, everyone. Okay. Now this one, I like this one. This is casual. Do you hate it here as much as I do? For many, dating apps seems like a necessary evil. They don't particularly enjoy the process but participate because that's the direction dating has trended. Between catfishing, a lack of responses, and general insincerity, things can get really old. Meaning fast, really fast. So open with this line and bond over mutual disdain for our new normal. Okay? So, unfortunately, because this is like the age of, social media through dating through social media, you have like pretty much no choice but to try to use these apps. So you start with something like that, you could kind of come yourself across as relatable. All right. The other one says, yes, I'll go out with you. Being presumptuous can actually be charming when you're joking. Plus, it cuts to the chase and lets your match knows that you're interested in a real life date. Just read the room. Not leave the room. Okay, just read the room with this. Just read the room with this. Okay. And all the other opening lines here. If a person doesn't demonstrate even a slight sense of humor on their profile, you may want to ease into these types of comments. So you gotta really find someone who really has a casual sense of humor, because you could find somebody that's too serious and you're telling like a joke like that, all she's gonna do is just look at you silly, and then she's gonna be like, and that's gonna be an epic fail. Okay. All right. So, best Tinder opening lines for hookups. Now, this is the one where basically you're just trying to have a casual relationship. You're not open in anything serious, but you want to make your intentions known. So that way no one feels like you're playing their emotions. And if they're into it, they can't say, well, he moved on with this girl and that girl. I mean, you already know it was casual. Almost like a one night stand a little bit. So saying, I'm just here to have some fun. Are you interested in a casual connection? So, Carl stresses the importance of transparency here. If you're looking for casual fun or a hookup, be open about what you're looking for. Use specific wording in your message that clearly communicates this to make sure the two of you are on the same page. You should also try to make sure you're picking the right date app for what you're looking for. So this is definitely like it's a good one because you're just making intentions known, but a lot of them can't really handle open honesty. You know what I mean? Let's just say they're just looking for something that's casual so they can hook up. But they probably don't want to be told that, hey, you just want a casual connections and nothing more about it. So you might disqualify yourself a few times. Let's see. Are you competitive? Whose bed is comfier? Who wants to find out? You know? Well, sorry, want to find out. This is more of like an engaging approach. It's funny while delivering the message that you're not looking for anything serious without explicitly saying so. This is less direct method. Sorry, this less direct method works best in tandem. Oh, the little Spanish dating app. Okay, with starting your intentions on your profile. If someone takes the time to read it and still matches with you, you're less likely to offend them with leading with hookup Indonesia or something like that. So basically, like, if you could get away with that and that person pretty much swipes right and she's interested, then hey, that could probably lead to something. Just, what you're looking for. Okay. The other one is cold when I come over and keep it warm. That that almost sounds like you're trolling. You know what I mean? You give them a line like that, like women will take it like the wrong way, pretty much. Like, oh, it's just like another guy that's trying to sleep with me or another creep. So, just be careful about sounding too creepy on social media. This icebreaker is cute, sexy, and suggestive. I don't think so, but the flirty approach may render your desired result. Just make sure you pull it out during an appropriate season. Okay. So, like, save that for the winter time. The other one says, I just got a new dog. Want to come over and pet it? Oh, boy. Definitely no. It makes you sound like a petty. I'll call it like that, like PEDDY. It sounds like you're. I don't know, man. When I hear that type of line, it's like you're a grown. It sounds like you're a grown old man, but then yet you're trying to lure a young girl to pretty much come close to you. That part, I'm like, no, I'm giving that a 1 for sure, for sure. All right, my place or yours? Switch it up. Maybe they're not comfortable coming to your place, but wouldn't mind you coming to theirs. I mean, that's correct. But I don't know. Like, for someone to be open to that, like, they're probably into, like, casual hookups. So maybe you could probably get away with that. But I really don't see it. Okay, the other one says, I swiped right because I find you very attractive. And you seem like a lot of fun. I think we'll have a great time together. Even if okay with a hookup, your match might still wish to be courted a bit. Don't forget about compliments and tax here. Okay? Tell the person why you like them so they know you're not simply swiping right on everyone. Okay, so oh, you're so much. But there's another way to kind of let your intentions be known. Intentions, I mean. All right, any Netflix shows you like to binge watch together? Any Netflix shows like to binge watch together? So, that it's a give and take. At least you're not asking her out to the movies. You know what I mean? But it could work if you're able to kind of get close and seal the deal while watching these shows. Otherwise, man, you're gonna be wasting your time, man. You're gonna probably fall asleep. Sitting on the couch watching and discussing television together is low-key yet intimate. If that's what you're looking for, opening with this line conveys your intent. The other one is, I may not be Mr. or Mrs. Right, but I can be Mr. and Mrs. Right now. That's a little smooth. I give it 3 stars. This remark makes it clear that you're not looking for anything serious, yet teetering the line between serious and crass. It carries a fun tone. All right. Now, unique Tinder opening lines. All right. Shout outs to King and Dreams. Salute to my brother. Hey, if you ever want to come up, feel free to come through. The link is pinned to the top. Okay. Now, but before I begin, right, everyone, I will take a 1-minute intermission. Another one. So I'm going to go grab some water real quick. So I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Thank you guys for waiting. So, salute to Alonzo Hall. King Dream says, I can't come up, brother, but thank you for the invite. Hey, no problem, man. Oh, I want to give everybody a word of advice for all the content creators that are sharing the content. What I've learned, what I found out through YouTube, let's say, for instance, I'm live right now on the live stream, or I have a scheduled video out, but I'm posting the link, the video link into my YouTube community tab. What I used to do was, you know, the easiest thing is to hit the share button, send a link to your community tab so that people will get notified. But what I realized is that, well, one, the community tab, YouTube doesn't notify people at all, okay, when it comes to the community tab stuff. But then, two, YouTube does not like for people to share like their link, or into like the community tabs, because people who already subscribe to your channel, they're already going to get notified. So if you post like a link to your channel, YouTube will purposely ignore it, and nobody else will even know that you even posted anything in the community tab. So that's why if you look at the big content creators, whenever they're sharing something in the community tab, some will post like a link, right? But a lot of times you'll see them post pictures. So they'll have the picture instead of sharing the actual stream link. Well, YouTube link. So I just want to let you guys know, if you want more attention to it, make sure on your community tab, just, have a picture out. I mean, they also YouTube also reward people that does GIFs or GIFs, however you want to call it. But just make sure that you don't post like the video link and share it to the community tab, because YouTube will ignore it and nobody else will be able to see it. If they're scrolling down on YouTube. So just to let you guys know. All right. Let's go ahead and get back to this one. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and play. Let's play this one. Okay. So, what's your favorite thing about life right now? I think this is pretty much like unique. I'll definitely add that to the category, because you're asking that person something a little bit direct. What's your favorite thing in life? Like, who would not want to answer like a question like that? You know what I mean? So, I mean, you could even use that line like in person, like, hey, like, what's your favorite thing like in life? So unique lines are lines that make you stand out. So swiping through endless profiles and trying to spark engaging conversation with multiple people can grow exhausting. That is why your match may not respond to every single message. So if you try to say something that people haven't heard of before, probably something like this will interest. Probably something like this. So probably something this that probably something like this that interests into gaining deeper understanding of who they are. If you could teleport anywhere in the world, where would you go? Okay. So the key with a unique open line is that it makes the person think that because they can't give that standard responses they got used to, you're more likely to learn more about the match through the destination they chose. Sorry, they choose here, because there's a reason behind it. So, for example, maybe they like to teleport to another state to spend a day with a loved one that they haven't seen in a while. Okay? So, remember, the whole goal basically is to formulate thought-provoking questions. Salute to Mr. She. I'm sorry. Salute to Mr. She said. Man, man, I'm telling you, reading these articles, man. Mm, you gonna have to get some. I'm gonna have to get some tea after this. But yeah, okay. So, and also, like, anybody can feel free to come up if they like to. So let's see. I won't mind. Sorry, it says I won't say I'm saying. Okay, this one says I won't say I'm glad you're single, but I'm happy you're here. Okay, so tell someone that's like, you know, I won't say I'm glad that you're single, but I'm happy that you're here. You're giving them a warm invitation. You know what I mean? And they can respect that. You're being very inviting. And that's what, like, a lot of people are there for respect. So, you know, by the end of the day, like, both parties know the reason why they're here because they're single. And, they're on Tinder because they don't want to be single no more. But you're giving that invitation out. That really, like, lets a person's guard down. I'll say that. I was skeptical about using Tinder. Stumbling upon you is helping ease my reservation. I feel like that's a little bit too scripted. Everyone wants to feel special. Lines like this are almost guaranteed to make your match gush. Only use it if you're sincere. Hmm. All right, we're almost at the last one. All right, so what's your superpower? This one hits on a few key points we discuss. It's a question which compels a response. It's an attention grabber, and it can also be considered a compliment. You're assuming they're really good at something. Best of all, it's thought provoking and likely will require them to send you a unique response rather than the boilerplate ones they're used to writing up. All right. Let me go ahead and welcome First Lady Tammy. Hopefully, she could cam up. What's up, First Lady Tammy?
Not much. What's going on?
Nothing much. I was just reading like the last part of these like 36 like opening dating lines that people be using like for Tinder. And boy, reading this out loud will definitely like make you want to get some tea for your throat. But have you got a chance to like kind of like take a listen to some of like the lines I was reading about?
No, I had some stuff I had to take care of, so I didn't get a chance to.
Mm. Okay, okay. Well, let me ask you this then. Okay, and I could probably go over some of these pickup lines again, but all right. Have you ever used any? Well, have you ever used Tinder before?
No.
Mm. Okay. Have you ever used any dating apps?
Yeah.
Okay. What dating app have you used?
I've used BLK. I've used POF. Um, I think that was it, actually.
Okay. And those dating apps, do they still exist? The ones that you
Yeah, of
listed?
course. Yeah, they
Oh,
still exist.
okay. All right. Well, let me ask you this: What was the what was the most corniest pickup line you ever heard? Or I wouldn't say pickup line. What was the corniest opener that you heard?
I mean, I never really got corny openers. I mean, I never really got that. So people just would say hi or how are you doing, something like that. So I didn't really get a bunch of pickup lines.
Hmm.
So. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what was like the best? Well, what was the best line or opener have you ever read before, besides the High and Haze?
I mean, the best opener would just be somebody pretty much telling me about themselves rather than a hi or a hello, doing more than just a hi or a hello or how are you. So, you know, saying something lets me know you actually read what I put in my profile because I don't think a lot of people do that anyway. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, so yeah, that's the thing that would get my attention is if I could tell you actually read something in my profile, then that would make me want to start to engage in a conversation with you. So,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So let me see. Let me go back to yeah, because the whole point to me, like what I want to let people know is, like I said, I know this was like Tinder focused, but in any type of social media app, or I feel like you walk up to someone in person. Um, yeah, I mean the casual haze or how are yous or whatever is cool, but I think be a little bit more creative. So you know, make sure you capture the immediate attention of the person you're matched with. And you want to show a bit of your personality, as according to the article. And you let a favorable response. So yeah, take the time to really okay, not just like knowing like who the person is, as opposed to like you're seeing these pictures and you're getting aroused, and now you just want to shoot your shot blindly, but you don't know nothing about what a girl does or whatever. You're just like, hey, this person's attractive. Let me go ahead and go after it. The same thing for for girls as well too. Um, you gotta look at something, look at the bigger picture of things before just seeing the picture. They do say a picture's worth 1,000 words anyway. And shout outs to Texas Sun. Texas Sun, salutes to you, man. All right, I'm starting to see okay, more people start coming in around like at 7. All right, Texas Sun, if you would like to come up, I will send a link to you. Tonight's topic is about pretty much, these openers, these open lines that people use like for Tinder, but honestly, it could be used for any type of social media app. I just don't know why they were so heavily focused on Tinder at that moment. So I'm doing pretty good. I pretty much read the entire list, but I don't mind going back to a few, and we could kind of rate those stuff together. Right now, all that reading got my throat kind of sore. Mm. I can't right now, but I'll be listening. Okay, no problem. All right, Tammy. I'll tell you this. I'm gonna go over like through like the lines. Hopefully, you could see it through the screen share, and we're gonna rate it together at a 1 to 3. Like 1 being like the worst, 2 being fair and reasonable, and 3 being excellent. Sounds good.
sure.
All right. And shout outs to Grizzly Bear Productions. It says, "What's good? What's popping? What's good? What's popping with you, man?" You know, um, Grizz, if you want to come up, feel free to come up as well. The link is posted in the chat. Okay. So, Tammy, are you able to read this one out?
What's one thing I should know about you before asking you out?
Mm-hmm. So remember, all these are just like your first opening lines. Do you feel like that's a good way to kind of start the conversation?
No.
Hmm. Okay. Why not?
I mean, you don't. I mean, you're just making the assumption that you're even going to get that far.
Mm.
So being presumptuous is not a good thing. So, um, you want to get to know the person to see if that's even something you want to ask out. So, I mean, one thing I should know about you before asking you out in the conversation that you're having. There's things you can find out anyway. So, I mean, I'm not just going to tell you something like that. If that's your first message, that's not. I probably wouldn't even respond to that. To be honest.
Mm. Even if a person was trying to like exude like some level of confidence. I
Yeah,
mean,
arrogance or too much confidence is not attractive.
okay. All right, I dig it. Okay. The second one is like, what made you so into traveling? Now, it also says you can sub out traveling. It just depends on what they wrote in their profile that they're interested in. But let's just say, like, if they're the type of people that do like traveling, you know, and they start off by, asking that type of question, like, do you think that will be like kind of like a good way to open a conversation? Will you kind of respect that a little
I
bit more?
mean that would just because that would let you know that you read something that was in my profile. So it means that you did more than just look at the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually read what was in there.
Right,
So
right.
that would be something that would be able to help you start a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I agree with you on that part. I think I would give that like a number three, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
because you are digging deep into getting to know that person, like reading through the profile as opposed to just reading through the looks. Now this one, mm, it
That
says
one,
like
are you a cutie, is trash. I'm sorry, that's trash. I'm sorry, that's trash.
oh no, it's not cute, it's QT, quality
Yeah,
time.
you are a QT, and
Mm-hmm.
I love quality time. Stop it. Just stop it. That's no.
Oh, let
That
me see.
no, no, no,
I mean,
no.
I think that person tried to add like a little bit of humor to it, to
Yeah,
try to let the guard down, but you saying it's trash. Like,
you're a cutie, and I love quality time. How's your day? No, no.
mm,
I mean, no. Let me say it's not for me. We'll say that it's not for me.
hmm okay. Even a person being genuine, real, and sincere.
I mean, that's not being. That is that I wouldn't necessarily call that being sincere. That's just you trying to find a way in.
Hmm. Okay.
So
Do you note that? Okay. The almost let's see. You should be proud of your smile. I love to know more about what makes you tick.
you should be proud of your smile. No,
Yeah.
no.
I didn't really like that part because I'm like, especially like, I love to know about what makes you tick.
So I mean, so that the first part is no, no, no. It'd be different. Like you have a really nice smile.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a little bit different. Say you should be proud of your why be proud of your smile. No, no, no.
It sounds too like scripted. And that's what the person's like, oh, I don't like my smile, whatever, but still, I'm like, I'm not really fond of that openness, so I'll give it a one. Okay, your profile is, oh, hold on. Got somebody else on here? Simon, come on, cam up, bro. Come up, man. What up, Sam? Simon, can you hear me? What's up, Simon? How you doing? All right. Simon, thank you for tuning in. We're talking about Tinder lines, like the Tinder app, lines that people use to spark open a conversation. And so, one of the lines that we're looking at is highlighted. Your profile is refreshing. I look forward to learning more about you. And so, me and First Lady Tammy are giving it a rating out of 1 to 3. 1 being the worst, 2 being fair, 3 being the most excellent pickup line ever. So when you hear a line like that, right, that any man or woman, but let's just say a man's giving a woman this line, what do you think about that? Do you think it's corny, or do you think it's a perfect line?
Um, from what I've learned in life, women love a pickup line.
No, they don't.
Okay. As straight rebuttal. But I guess I guess like maybe maybe when they are a bit younger they might like it because they're more susceptible to it. Like as a young woman, um, pickup lines become a thing, and then you sort of get past it a bit, and you sort of understand that people need to sort of be a bit more intelligent with it. But that's fine if you want to do that tea. But I'm just saying, threw me right off. Sorry, sir. What's the subject again? God damn. No, they don't. No, they don't.
All right. So again, the subject is okay, like the best pickup lines to use when you're on social media. They talk about Tinder specifically, but let's go to the next one, and then we'll allow you to catch up. So the next one is, what's the most important attribute you're looking for in a potential partner? First Lady Tammy, what you think about that one? And then I'll let you go after Simon.
I mean, I think that one's not too bad, because it shows that you actually, well, you make it seem you're making it seem as if you have an interest in what I'm looking for. So I mean, that's a good thing. So yeah, so I'd say if I could tell that you're actually showing an interest in something that I'm interested in, or something that's going to help you get to know me better, then that's good. So, and me, by my answer, that would tell you a lot about me.
Okay. All right, fair enough. What about you, Simon?
I think relationships in particular with women seems to be about I a lot. So I don't know if they understand that that's not really attracting to males a lot. Like, so the I thing, I think we need to detract from to a point.
Hey, say that one more time.
The I thing, the I thing, like women. Every time I speak to a woman, they just talk about themselves. It's like God. So it's like that's fine, and as males, we tend to just facilitate that, and that's cool. But I think in this day and age, I think we're getting a bit. What women need to realize to an extent is that we need a bit more support in terms of. Like, you can't be about I all the time.
So you think that question is about I?
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you would be, why wouldn't this question lead to start with him asking about me and then me asking about him?
You just done it again.
I'm confused. Because you said that the focusing on the I.
Yeah, but what you just said right there was you doing it again. So you said why, the why thing is more like I am thinking about myself. So what you did was, although I spoke about what the question was, you brought it back to yourself.
Huh?
Wait, you talking about Tammy, or are you talking about like?
I'm confused because I just said that. Why couldn't that be a question that he asked about me, and then I could also ask about him? How is that me focusing on me?
Because with males in particular, like if the first point that you have is you, it becomes something that they're not going to actually talk on. They're not going to speak about it. But then you can get to the other part where it's like it's about them, but the most important part is about you.
I'm confused. I thought a conversation was two people getting to know each other. I guess I must have missed something. So
no, you haven't missed anything. The thing about people actually getting to know each other is really interesting, and I don't want to detract from the conversation. So, I'll either bow out or not. But I'm just saying, like, the thing about two people actually getting to know each other is very interesting. But the fact of the matter is why people can't stay in relationships is because most of the time one person wants to detract from the other person. And it's not really their fault. It's just like their nature. In most cases, it's their nature. And the language as well, and the communication that's set up. So, like, the way you're talking to me like a woman. And it's like, I might not necessarily understand.
Should I talk to you like I'm a man?
No, what I'm saying is you need to understand certain things in terms of actually being able to talk to a man. So getting through to me as I have had to get through to you. So,
even though you're not getting through to me?
Not right now. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen right now. I'm not expecting that. Not at all. And I appreciate that. And, I'm not trying to be like Superman over here. I'm just saying, right? The fact of the matter is it takes time. Like, that's what relationships are.
Okay.
That's what relationships are. And unless we turn around and say we're getting into a relationship, that's the only point in time where you turn around and go, okay, well, we're going to start trying to do this sort of stuff. I have conversations on the phone with people, and it could be messy sometimes it could be straight. We might not, and most of the time we don't actually just click. But the fact of the matter is what happens is I could say I'm in a relationship with someone over the phone. But that's taken a bit of time to actually acknowledge how we speak to each other. Because the first time we spoke to each other, it was a clash. It was just like, F this, F that, blah, 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 blah. And then it was just like, after that, it was like, okay. Do you get what I mean? And so on and so forth. But that's just relationships. I mean, how if you've ever been in a relationship, you would know that, right?
Are you asking Tammy, or are you just saying?
You know what, you know what, Simon, you lost me. You really did. Yeah, you lost me. You lost me. So,
Have you ever been in a relationship?
of course.
Right. So, are you in a relationship?
Yeah.
Right. So, the first time you met that person, was
Okay.
it just like fireworks, or was there some sort of, you know, interaction where it was like, you know, we were going back and forth?
You mean arguing?
No, not arguing, just talking. Not everything's about arguing. No, look, I'm not interested in arguing, period. But I'm just saying, like, in your situation, was it like a thing, like it was just like a click? Did you just sort of like go click? Oh, this just happened, and
You mean like love at first sight?
exactly,
No.
yeah, right. So how did it happen? So there must have been some sort of thing where it's just like some sort of back and forth, right?
You mean a conversation?
Anything, like, you know, the fact that you know, I don't even want to go into it, but I'm just saying relationships don't happen like that naturally.
You said relationships don't happen naturally?
Don't happen like that naturally, in the sense that you can't turn around and like portray to the world that everything's that straightforward and simple. It's not. You know, the fact of the matter is however you met your partner and however like you got to the place you're at, there's been discrepancies, but people don't want to put that out there because I don't know, maybe they see it as dirty laundry or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, the thing is, what is interesting is we all go through it. We all go through it, you know. So even by the way you're talking, it's like you're very like held back, just by just what I'm gauging. I'm just gauging.
It's not necessarily that I'm held back. I think what you're saying is not necessarily making sense in some ways. So like when you said relationships don't happen naturally, and you were saying, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm just lost on what you're saying. So
yeah, that's fine. That's fine because you're probably not used to someone just being honest.
Oh no, I'm very used to people being honest, and I prefer for people to be honest.
Well, you know, if you were, then you'd understand where I'm coming from.
Not necessarily, because
yes,
if you're not necessarily, because if you're not speaking in a way that makes sense to me, then I'm not really going to understand what you're saying. So, and you have to understand.
So, are you happy? All right. So, are you happy?
So, hold on one second. And so, I think this is the problem when it comes to communication is that one person says something, and they say it, and the expectation is the person that you're saying it to understands the way you're saying it, and that's not necessarily the case. And because they don't, and I could be wrong, but because they don't, the assumption is a negative one. So
it's not a right or wrong. Okay, so what I'll say to you is it's not a right or wrong thing. Okay, what it is a matter of levels of intelligence, and the fact of the matter is if you don't understand where someone's coming from, you need to actually question why that is. You can't just simply just back it off and put it into the back channel and go, okay, I'm gonna turn around.
Isn't that what she did?
Well, to an extent, it was like I don't understand what you're talking about.
Could you repeat what you just said? My daughter was talking to me. I had to mute myself because my daughter was talking to me. Could you repeat what you said?
What part?
Well, when you started talking, my daughter came in the room, so I had to mute myself, and I had to pay attention to her rather than what you were saying.
Yeah, I feel a sort of level of antagonism right now. So
seriously,
I do. Yeah, I do.
That sounds like a personal problem. Sorry. I'm sorry. That sounds like a personal problem. Sorry. Just,
Hold
yeah.
on, Simon, okay? Yo, man, relax. Nobody coming at you, man. Come on, man. Don't do
Listen,
this again, please.
I feel this shit,
We love
man.
you, man. We love you, man.
I'm
Come
different.
on, man.
I'm different.
I
know.
know.
Hey,
You
you
know
right
that.
about that.
You know
Yeah,
that,
you're damn
man.
right. It's just goddamn.
Yo, come on, man.
I'm just
Ain't
trying to
ain't
look.
nobody coming after you, man. Come on.
I'm just saying, like, I love you guys, but I'm just saying at the
Obviously,
same
man.
time, wow. So,
Okay.
like, look, it's just my perspective. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Let me ask you a question. Are you
Mm.
saying that you feel like First Lady Tammy is not used to men being transparent with her? Is that what you're trying to say, or just people in general?
Yeah, that's how it came across. Yeah.
Oh, what makes you say that though? Like, where are you getting that from?
Because I don't think many men have actually experienced women that are transparent. You know, as I said, like I spent like I've had a 10-year marriage,
Mm-hmm.
and the woman that's still in my life is still there. She's very transparent. Like, although like we're not married now, I've never met a woman like that. Never. But when I speak to people in other relationships and things like that, there's always this discrepancy. There's always something where there's this antagonism, or you know, it's some negative thing. It's like, you know, it's like, wow, you know, listen, bro, I'll be quite happy to bring me and my ex-wife to your house tomorrow if you're having a stakeout. I'll be quite happy to do that. It would be no problem. There would be no problems, and we'll get on fine, and it'll be a happy day. But I can't say that about my exes, because there were women that were kind of like I don't even want to.
No, I mean, tell the truth.
I don't want to, because listen,
we already here, man. Let's go.
listen. There are people calling me
Say
up
what you
on my
gotta say.
phone. There
Yes,
are
sir.
people calling me up on my phone right now, like on a
Okay.
daily basis.
Huh?
And I don't know what they're dealing with. I don't.
I mean, just say what you gotta say, brother. That's all.
I don't know what they're dealing with, like in terms of like, you know, yes, we had past relationships, whatnot, but you know, I stick with my ex-wife. I love my ex-wife. She's a bit fuckery at the time.
Let me ask this question. Simon. Do
Mm-hmm.
you feel okay? Okay. Do you, because sometimes this happens even with women, right? They group
Mm-hmm.
all men together. Are you grouping all women together and feel like mostly all women do the same things?
No.
Okay.
And I can explain that in a very simple sense, because you could just take what we see from women. No way, Jose. No way, Jose. No, I can't, because it's just the fact of the matter is look, God blessed me with my wife, my ex-wife, and my child, and my children. I have that advantage, and men out here can tell and talk how they want, and that's fine, but they have not lived that life. Do you get what I'm saying? I've got 3 children from 3 beautiful women from all across the world.
Okay.
I'm that, like, at the end of the day, like, that's what it is. Now, I might have my discrepancies, and you know, we have our in and out arguments, but at the end of the day, I have not seen anyone out here telling that story in any sort of shape or form. Like, everyone's got some sort of beef with like women. Like, And then I'm like, God damn, like you need to pay
You're
attention
right.
to women.
Yo,
Pay
wait, hold on.
attention. It's like, God damn.
Man, pause 1 second. Pause 1 second. 1 second. We want to continue this. Got to give a shout out to our homie Still Rider. Still Rider. If you can come up, man, and share your experiences with trying to,
Please.
trying to talk to women and trying to pick them up, please come up, brother. We would love to hear from you. All right. We love when you share your perspective, just like Simon sharing his perspective. This is an intriguing topic because a lot of times men feel like we need to have a thesaurus to talk to women. A lot of men feel that way.
Thesaurus.
So, Still Rider, I got the link that's posted up there. So please hop into the link. We definitely need your voice up on this platform, brother. Please.
Yes.
You know, you will be the star of the show right now.
Outside of Simon.
No, I think what you said was very, very what you said was very, very what you said. There's a delay on my part.
No, you good, bro. You don't have a delay. You good.
What you said was very important.
Mm-hmm. Simon, you good.
I'm gonna stop for a second and figure out this. Okay. Yeah, I mean what I'm just trying to figure this one out.
Hey, you good, bro?
Yeah, people be hacking my shit. But yeah, no. No, it's important. It is very important. And at the end of the day, that's what it is. To be put in simplistic terms, do you get what I'm saying? Very simplistic terms. If you know what it is to be married and have a woman by your side, you need to do certain things. And you know, women are not commodities. They're not, you know, and you know, God damn, I get on these platforms all the time and it's just like, you know, people be talking some shit about women. And it's like,
what up, man?
Where would we be without women? It's just crazy. It's real crazy.
Yeah. But aren't at times the women unruly though? Like, don't I feel like at times some? I'm not saying all women.
But that's your job. Your job as a man is to slap their ass. Okay, that's what your job is. Your job as a man is to slap their ass. That's what your job is.
Oh my God, son.
Wait, hold on, everybody. I gotta give a shout out to Atlanta Braves. He says it's almost as if cats out here gotta use Harvard University words to somewhat degree to keep some women in cheek.
Now, Hawks Braves, please, if you could come up,
sleeping niggas,
and share your experience, we would love that too. We would totally love that.
I will post this again, even though it's pinned to the chat, but I will post this again. And Still Rider, thank you for tuning in too, though. So we'll see you as well.
Still Rider, man. What up, baby?
No problem. So Mario, what's going on with you?
Nothing much, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right. Cooking some dinner. I saw your show was on. It said something about Tinder. I'm like, let me get on and say something to just sink my teeth in something right quick. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, hold on for 1 second, Brandon. I just want to make sure before I let you start. Simon, can you finish your point? I'll give you 1 minute, okay?
Yo, hit the like, man. So what are you talking about? My point? What point?
I thought you had a point that you wanted to say.
M3, I think he's done. M3, I think he made his point already.
Oh, okay, all right, cool.
So Still Rider, what do you feel about like picking up women and trying to talk to women and it kind of being difficult and women sometimes making it difficult? Like, you know, you're being nice, you're going up to them, you're introducing yourself, you're being respectable. Like, do you feel like women make it hard? Like, how do you feel, man?
Nope. No. Yo, this is the whole level with the simp process, because it's like women will acknowledge you as long as you're in a state of, you know, a situation where they can see that you can do something for them, and that's all it is. It's not like complicated. It's just many men can't get to that point or try to get to that. Look, when I was 23, I was simping like a motherfucker. I'm not gonna joke. Like it's real crazy. Like I was broke as like shit. Like
I think we all were. But
yeah, so it's just like that's what it is. So it's just like when you want to take, you know, women like will come when they come. And that's the ultimate message. Women will come when they come. Stop thinking about women. Get on your shit. Get on your own shit. Women will come when they will come. That's just what it is. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So still Ryder, what do you think about this, Still Ryder?
Oh, I think it's, you know, I agree, you know what I'm saying, as far as staying on your shit when let the women come, but like, what if I or somebody else want to come towards the women? You know what I'm saying? I'm a hunter, man. I like to hunt. And you know what I'm saying? It's hunting season right now because it's starting to get colder, you know what I'm saying?
Cuffing season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's dive more into that, right? Because, you know, it's because, you know, right now, man, like we don't really have a lot of hunters out there. And why is that still right? I feel like
I don't know.
The last breed.
What's last date?
No, I feel like you're the last breed right now because the thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Because see, the thing is that, you know, a lot of these men are so afraid to approach women. But from day one of knowing you, like you never been afraid to approach. Like you ain't never scared.
This is true, but I'm a little cautious nowadays. I'm getting older, a little wiser. And these females out here, I'm dealing with damaged goods. I deal with people who have experience with men who they've been with for years, have kids with, or even got married to, which is a good thing. And when they got that divorce and the kids get grown, or the man takes the kids, it's like with the women, it's like I'm dealing with damaged goods. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we all get that heartbreak, but like with women, it's different because they're so emotional, like the water wave. That's how their emotion goes.
Okay. Tammy, do you have anything that you want to, I don't know, respond to or talk about?
I mean, I just think when people don't address the trauma that they've gone through, it can affect their interactions with other people. So that's why you have people that are heartbroken and they take that into other relationships because you haven't dealt with that. You just kind of pushed it to the side and just tried to move on. But the problem is you can't move on until you deal with that. And some people are not willing to deal with it because trauma in itself is painful, and having to deal with it means you may have to go through that pain all over again, and people are not willing to do that. So
Tammy, when you talk about trauma, what are you talking about exactly?
I mean, trauma can be in many ways. It could be a relationship you were in. It could be something from your past as far as your parents. It could be other type of relationships you've had as far as friends. I mean, it could be childhood trauma. It could be adult trauma. But, I mean, the reality is that a lot of times people don't address the trauma that they've gone through. So what happens is when you don't address it, it will address itself when you don't necessarily want it to. So it's going to come out in the way that you interact with people. It's going to come out in the way you talk to people. It's going to come out in what you do and what you don't say when it comes to other people.
So have you actually experienced trauma?
Of course, everybody's experienced some kind of trauma.
I haven't.
Mm-hmm.
You've never okay.
Hey, I got a question for Tammy. So Tammy,
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at that, but to be perfectly honest, to say that is you not being honest.
Why do you think I'm not being honest?
Maybe not being aware.
Because okay, there you go. Not being aware, because everybody has experienced some type of trauma, and the problem is that because it may be something that in your mind is just the way it is, or that's how, I was raised, or that those type of statements, not saying that you've made those type of statements, but sometimes because it seems like it may be something normal or something
I've had a good laugh. I'm
you've
cool,
seen.
man.
It could be something that you think is that's just the way it is, and that's not necessarily the case. So I've never heard anybody say that they've never experienced any trauma, because the reality is sometimes people don't necessarily know that something is trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, now you're going to make it into something that is necessarily trauma. No, I'm telling you, I ain't experienced trauma.
Okay, so if you know what, if you say that, Simon, we gonna go with that. You would be a person that I think you would be like that 1 in a million person that's never experienced any trauma.
All right.
Can this all be alleviated if women just cook more sandwiches?
Exactly.
Damn.
Oh man. But yes, like I was saying, I mean, the way that you interact with people, even the way you talk to people, all of that can be from the trauma that you've dealt with, or the trauma that you have not dealt with. And the problem is that when you go into a new relationship, whether it's somebody you're dating, whether it's somebody you're friends with, even if somebody you call family, when those things are not addressed, it will address itself. And the problem comes is that it'll address itself when you least expect it to, when you'd rather it not happen. That's when it does. So the thing is that people need to address those things and face those things that they say are not trauma. To say, oh, I've never had any trauma. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh, because trauma is not something to laugh about. But the unrealistic statement that I've never is just crazy to me, because I think some people just don't recognize what trauma is. And some things are just so normal that in their mind that it's not trauma, because it's been normalized. Right. So yeah. Like I said, trauma is not something that to laugh about, but the statement, I've never experienced any trauma. Come on now.
You know, to be fair, right? And Still Rock, I'm gonna let you go next. To be fair, I don't think he understood the definition of trauma, or maybe probably haven't really heard about that before.
Yeah, I believe that.
He probably look at trauma as something that's extreme, but the thing is,
right.
Okay, I was gonna ask him, is he currently married?
He said he wasn't.
He said wasn't.
He said that he said that, I think he said that in all that he was saying, I think he said that he was married, but they're not married right now, but she's still in his life.
Right. And those things can also cause some type of trauma, whether if it's mild or heavy.
Right.
You went through an experience that I'm assuming that was obviously painful, either for you or for the other person. But like I said, people feel like, okay, well, what is good means that the trauma that they had from before is erased. And that's not even the case of it. But Still Rider, you was gonna say something, my bad.
All this rambling on. I can't be up here for long, so a lot of things to say if I get off. But if y'all want to follow me on Instagram on YouTube, the name right there is Still Rider.
Still Rider. I feel you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, Still Rider.
As far as the trauma part,
I
mean, trauma. I don't know if that's too extreme of a word. I wouldn't use trauma, but I would say that this. I'll be more on this whole sort of thing as damaged goods or heartbroken. But trauma, it's I've somewhat been through that one day with the next, but it's I wouldn't use that word personally myself. Speaking as I'm a dude, so. But yeah, we all have those issues as far as the next person. We cannot build bricks of wall towards them, and they would probably be like, "Hey, I ain't him," or "I ain't her." Because we all different people. You know what I'm saying? Different individuals. So it's I'm gonna start fresh, somebody brand new. I can bring the old back to something new, a new relationship with some person, a woman, I should say. But it's like it is like something like second nature, like we used to it. It's accepted for some reason. I don't accept it. It's like, woman up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll be together or we not. There ain't no in between. Like, let's be friends right now, and I'm a chance to know you better. And okay, but I ain't getting any younger, sweetheart. You ain't either.
Right,
So
right.
it's like,
Okay. So basically, you're not trying to get your time wasted by any means. And this is the first time I actually hear somebody telling a woman up, right? As we always hear the term
exactly.
man up. So still right. Let me ask you this though, right? For the people in the chat, what is like your best like approach lines whenever you see a woman? Like educate us a little bit. Whenever you see a fine woman that you're ready to go talk to or holler at in some terms, what's your first opening line?
I mean, it could be anything. Depends on the scenery, how I feel, how's the vibe going.
Okay.
When I approach them, I'll be like, "Hey, how are you doing? Enjoying the weather? Just doing for your Uber? Oh, you come here a lot, don't you? Yeah. How you doing? Yeah, I'm Brandon. How you doing? Yeah, I'll be right here. I work over here. Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. So when you not waiting for Ubers or whatever you're doing, what do you do your spare time? Oh, okay, for sure. I can dig it. Okay. I'll be over here, you know what I'm saying? So if you want to, like, you in the neighborhood, holler back at your boy, but, shoot. You got Instagram? That's all I can think of right now, man.
Okay. No, that's pretty straightforward. I feel like that's pretty cordial. There's nothing corny going on around with that line too. So, so then, like, let's say if she decides that she want to, like, just be friends, will you be willing to accept being in the friend zone or just being friends with her?
That's funny you said that, Super Mario, because I kind of like went through that today while I was leaving Target. You know what I'm saying? I probably security guard. I do security too, to let y'all know. And said she had to do, but like, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna go all the way. You know what I'm saying? Hard in the pain with this because she was saying like her dude, he cheated her a few times, so it's like that's the opener right there. So it's like we start chopping up outside the Target in the front, and we swap Instagrams. We didn't do the number thing yet, you know what I'm saying? We'll wait for that to come to DM. But like, you know what I'm saying? But shoot, it's a woman's heartbroken. I'm here to pick it up and weld it back together, you know what I'm saying? And she said she was looking.
Okay, I like that. It's like picking up the pieces a little bit.
And weld it back together, not glue. Glue is not guaranteed, like, welding something back together, man.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then let's say, and then how do you let's say you guys you advanced like the first level, okay, and like you got to know her, you're doing the dating part, you take out on her first date. So now, how do you handle that in that situation?
Well, we can meet up somewhere like a movie theater or something like that. Start some small movie, and possibly dinner or get a drink. But like, I don't know. I really couldn't put a finger on it. But like, start something simple, like we used to back in the day. Movie, dinner. You know what I'm saying? I ain't say nothing extravagant, like, going out bowling or nothing like that, or we ain't got to shoot pool on the first date. We ain't got to do all that, but something simple. That's why it's called a dinner and a movie.
Well, I kind of feel like, okay, the movie thing, you're not really hands-on, like, you feel me? Like, yeah, I mean, I know you want them to be comfortable. I think that's the goal of it. But let's say, like, okay, you take them out to pool, even though, like, you have your pool stick, she have her pool stick, but I feel like it creates, opportunities for sexual tension. Whereas, like, the woman might need you to, like, help shoot the pool stick. So you gotta put your arms around her. You gotta put your hand over her hand, and you gotta show her how to work that stick.
But the thing is, I don't want no amateur with the pool table. I don't want somebody to know what they're doing. I want somebody trying to kick my ass for once.
I get you. But it probably starts with instruction, and then maybe she might level up. Even the most like hardcore like gamers or whatever, or people who are really good at something will pretend that they're not good just so you could like escalate the sexual tension. Let's say like dancing, for instance, salsa dancing. I feel like it's casual, but it's more on an intimate level. You take it out on salsa dancing, you'll learn how to dance, get some dance moves, but then two, it's like it's more like a hands-on type of mess. You're getting close and like the intensity arises.
Well, I took a salsa class at Laney College, remember Mario, and I didn't do too good in that class. All I know is you lead with your left foot, so I want to take that part from it and lead my left foot, or I don't know, but that's goes to a whole different thing as far as like dancing. That's usually for the third date, but I get up out of here, y'all. Super Mario, man. I go finish this dinner, man.
All right, man. Well, look, thank you for coming up, man, and giving us like your perspective and sharing a little bit of your wisdom. So thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank y'all for having me on here.
Hey, anytime, man.
All right, right on. Yeah, we'll be in touch with Mario.
All right, you too. All right, peace.
Peace.
All right, well, let's see. Shit, that was fun. All right. Anyways, it's almost time to wrap it up for a little bit. Anyways, we got like 6 more minutes to go. Let's do one more little read, and then we could like kind of close it out. All right. So, tell me, what do you think about this one? Roses are red, violets are blue. You look like you could be my future boo.
Nope. Hell no. No.
But that's poetic. That's creative.
No, that ain't. No, that ain't. That right there gets you deleted.
Damn.
Like, no.
Okay. I know
you look like you could be my future boo. No. I'm sorry. No. Absolutely.
Hey, I bet you could have worked back in the early 2000s. Maybe.
No.
Does
that say, are you a fan of shriveled fruit? No.
Yeah.
You know what? Oh my God. No.
And these are people that actually trying to be funny.
It says funny Tinder. That ain't funny. That no. Mm-mm.
So somewhere down the line, right, in this article, it advises.
Wait. Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
All right.
I'm never sure what to say here, but
which one? This one here?
I'm never sure of what to say here, but wanted you to know I'm interested in getting to know you. I mean, it's honest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, that's honest, but I mean, you really can't think of nothing else to say.
I knew it.
You couldn't think about it. It said, I'm never sure what to say here, but wanted you to know I'm interested in getting to know you. I mean, it's not bad. I wouldn't give it a 1, but I wouldn't give it a 3. So, I mean, it's not the worst one. I mean, that other one talk about, are you a fan of shriveled fruit? Not me, but want to go on a... Whoever came up with that really just wanted to be single for the rest of their life.
And I hear you. Like, I gave that one like a 2, only because I'm like, well,
it ain't vulnerable, because there it says it's honest, it's vulnerable, it's direct. Often that's all it takes. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is direct. It might be honest, but yeah, I give it a 2. If we're talking out a score of 1, 2, or 3, I give it a 2.
I'll say like the only reason I gave it a 2, because like, okay, it's an honest opener, but however, you're pretty much just telling a woman that you're not a guy who is sure and confident in your decision making. And maybe that's not the intent. Maybe, some guys feel like, well, let me play the shy role, or let me just play I'm just going to be straightforward. I have no pickup lines. I'm coming as being authentic. However, it just comes off as a person that when it comes to planning dates or taking the lead on critical decisions, you're not fit for that. And so that's why I gave it a 2. So, and the other one, like, tell me about the last time you fell in love. At first, I thought these two was jokes. I thought this part was, and I thought that I believe in love.
Tell me about the last time you fell in love. You asked that right there ain't none of your damn business. Like, no. No, that does not need to be the first thing you say. That definitely shouldn't be the first thing you say.
But see, I
believe in love at first swipe. What about you? Nope. Mm-mm.
Damn, Tammy, you just
because to me, some of them it's just you're asking questions where there's better things you could have said than said that. Mm-hmm. And if you really are actually interested in actually getting to know the person, you don't need to worry about the last time I fell in love. You don't need to worry about that. That's not what you should be worried about right now. That's not what you should be asking. Yeah. So, no, another thing, talk about, do you believe in love at first swipe? No. Your message would get deleted. That are you a fan of shriveled fruit? That gets deleted. You look familiar. Did we go to the same college? I could have sworn we had. Stop it.
Wait. Hold on, right? Okay. Now, this one, I feel like this was a little bit more creative on this part.
No, it's not. Because all I'm gonna ask you is, what school did you go to?
Well,
because there's only certain schools you would have taken chemistry. So, what college did you go to? And as soon as you tell me the college, I'll say, nope, not me.
But see, he's not saying this like in a serious manner. Like, this was the one where it says, telling a corny joke is a great way to get someone to let the guard down.
How is that corny? Are you a fan of shriveled fruit? How is that corny? That's stupid as hell. That is stupid as hell. Are you kidding me? That ain't corny. That's stupid as hell. Not me, but want to go on a date. So you don't even know if my name on there is my real name. So you're not gonna ask my real name. You're not gonna ask nothing. The first thing you say is, "Are you a fan of shriveled fruit?" Not me, but want to go on a date. Hell no.
I hear you. Yeah, but I don't know. I thought the cars thing was a little bit funny. I mean,
no.
I mean, come on now. Okay, you got to read it all together. Okay.
It says, like, get it, chemistry. That wouldn't see. Maybe it's just me. That wouldn't make me laugh. That I wouldn't think that's funny. That's corny, and corny is not going to get my attention.
Well, like I said before, like earlier, like in the live stream, folks, is that like you could probably get away with saying something corny if the woman is initially already attracted to you and she already built that connection. Well, you could get away with some corny stuff like 1 or 2 times or whatever. But you're doing this all the time, and that's your opener. I'm like, I will advise not to use those lines because the corny lines is like a big turnoff. I think, honestly, personally, to me, it's a turnoff because. Say again?
No, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
I believe it's a turnoff, right? It's because like when you start making these goofy type of lines and you're not really being authentic, people can't take you seriously. So, you're using these. I mean, come on now. Like, I mean, on a serious note, you say you look familiar. Did we go to the same college? Because I could have sworn we had chemistry together. Get it? Chemistry? Like they know you took a little bit of thought to write something that's so corny like that. Even though your
message would get deleted.
Damn, Tammy, you ain't okay.
If people ask how we met, what should we tell them? Well, ain't nothing to tell. Because we haven't met. Wait, which do you like better, Hawaiian or barbecue chicken pizza? That was actually that. I mean, that's not a 3, or I'd say that would be a 2.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it would lead to more I don't know what that would lead to by me ask. I don't know. Wait, did that say you can delete the app now you found me?
Yeah.
Stop it. Just stop it.
I mean, hey, it's a fair approach. Hey, you find
Now,
your perfect match. You can delete it now.
now this one that says more than 75 million profiles and we match with each other. That's some kind of sign, right? That would probably make me laugh. I would think that was funny. Yeah, I think that was funny because on certain apps, like for instance BLK, it only allows you to send a message with somebody if you guys have both liked each other's profile.
Mm-hmm.
So on that app, if you guys have not liked each other's profile, you can't even send them a message.
Right. Hold on for a second. Let me go down to. Did I go down to? This is the one that I kind of like. Was like this is definitely one. When a person says, "When do you feel happiest?" To me, it don't really sound too right.
I mean, you said what?
To me, it doesn't really sound too good. It's like if the way how maybe I'm saying it in a different way, but it says, "When do you feel happiest?"
I mean, I think that an opening line I don't think is a good idea. I just think that, and it could be just me, but my thing is I want you to introduce yourself rather than just coming out with a line. And that wait, hold on, stop, hold on. Do you
What's wrong?
do you hate it? So wait, that one says yes, I'll go out with you. Are you kidding me? Are they serious right now? Yes, I'll go out with you. Are you kidding me? Oh.
I mean, think about this though. Okay, being presumptuous can be a bit charming,
No,
but only if you're joking around.
But see, okay. So for me, that is a complete turn off. Like I don't even want to get to know you. You are being present. You're assuming that I'm gonna like you, and I'm gonna want to go out with you. Like no, and you assuming that you're gonna want to go out with me once you get to know me. You might get to know me and not want nothing to do with me. So, I mean, yeah, no.
I mean,
the one that says, "Do you hate it here as much as I do?" That one might get a conversation going.
I can see that one.
I can see that one getting a conversation going.
Yeah, that will spark up something, because like nobody. I think when you go into these dating apps, it's either like you're just looking for a casual hookup or a long-term relationship. Either way, at that particular moment, you're tired of being single. So, and unfortunately, in the world we live in, not a lot of people approach each other in person. So, it's like you have to rely on some of these dating apps. So, having a good opener right there, I could see like that being like a good line to spark up, many more conversations.
Yeah. Let me see what it says. I'm just here to have fun. So this is what I will say is that one right there is a good line for a hookup. I'm just here to have fun. Are you interested in the cat? Yeah, see, that's perfect. If you just trying to hook up, that's straight to the point. No beating around the bush. That's perfect if that's what you're looking for. I do think that is a good opener because you letting the person know I'm not trying to do nothing else. I'm just trying to hook up. That's it. So you being honest. And it lets the person know, and then if the person's looking for the same thing, then y'all can connect on that. So you're not coming out with a line. That's just complete honesty, and that takes away the wondering about what you really on there for. You let them know up front.
Absolutely.
That's what some people get on there for. So,
and to be honest with you, I honestly will respect that a lot more from a person that's saying that, because you're letting your intentions be known, and you're also letting the person know like you're not trying to play around the bush and try to play with a person's heart. It's just that as long as you are open just for a casual connection, you may not ever see me again. But at least at the moment, you're gonna have the best time of your life.
Yep. Okay, what's the next? Next one says, "Are you competitive? Whose bed is really, really?
Are you
No.
competitive?
Whose bed is comfier? Want to find out? No, stop it. It's cold. Want to come over? Keep me warm. You know, maybe because I don't be looking for no hookups. Maybe that's why this is all just a no. I just got a new dog. Want to come and?
I know.
It's ridiculous. I mean, but you know what? This is for hookups. So some people like this stuff. This stuff might catch people's attention.
I don't like the part where the line is, I just got a new dog. Want to come over and pet it. Unfortunately, like the reason why I don't like that line personally, because I feel like, and I'm not gonna say the whole word on YouTube, but so I'm gonna just label it as petty. Well, but PEDDY, if you know what I mean. Like I feel like that's petty vibes that you're coming across. It makes it, me reading this makes me think of an old man saying that to a younger woman. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would never use that
line. I got you.
Yeah. My place or yours?
I mean, that seems like that might be a little too straightforward. That might be a little too straightforward. That's something I can see somebody saying if you're going out and you just see someone says, I swiped right because I find you very attractive and you seem like a lot of fun. I think you have a great time together. Oh, well, that was not too bad. That was actually not, I mean, he might be lying, but I mean, that was actually not too bad.
And I mean, like, it's a nice little compliment. I mean, I feel like it's a friendly type of vibe. You seem like a lot of fun, and you're letting her know that you would like to see her. So you didn't come across as disrespectful as my place or yours, or I want to pet my dog, or who's competitive, like yours or my bed or whatever. You're not being like out there like that. You're just trying to just be straightforward. Right. And that's it.
Just any Netflix shows you like to binge watch together?
I'm sorry. I don't do no Netflix and chill type stuff. I'll be sleeping by then. I mean, it's a good way to
any Netflix shows you like to binge watch together. I mean, that's not gonna interest me because, like I said, that's more of a hookup. But that's something if you were dating somebody. That's a question you could ask if you're dating somebody.
Probably so. You don't want that to be like your first.
I can see that being a question as you guys are getting to know each other and dating and going on dates and things like that. I can see that being a question you could ask. I can't necessarily see that as a hookup. Because I think there's
Patrice.
Hey, OG Patrice.
Yeah. OG Patrice, come up, family, if you can. I got the link pinned to the top. Okay. The next one, I think we're getting close.
I may not be Mr. or Mrs. Right, but I can be.
I could be Mr. Right now.
I'm sorry, that is funny. That is funny. That is something that would make me laugh. I mean, I delete it, but that would make me laugh. Yeah, I would delete it. It would make me laugh before I deleted it. But yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
Man, at least Tim, the joke was funny before you deleted
that was funny. What's your favorite thing about life right now? That's not unique. How's that unique?
That's what they think.
I mean, that's a question that might get you talking. That might lead to a conversation. I wouldn't say that's unique, though.
OG Patrice.
What's good, family? How y'all doing? Hey, Tammy.
Hey, OG Patrice, how you
Um,
doing?
oh, good. How are you?
I'm all right. Just, doing my thing, adjusting to changes with work and, all that good stuff. So,
That's what's up.
Oh, I hear you. I had
yeah.
off today, so I end up doing a lot of stuff around the house, though. But yeah, I had a off day. You know how you just need a day off. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Just to
Uh,
do
Yeah.
whatever.
you,
Yeah. So I
I
took
did
it.
watch that episode of you
Oh, you
on the
did?
show. I
Okay.
showed you, man, I was waiting every week for that to come on. And
Oh, that's
I showed
good.
it, watch it when you was on there. You was good too.
Oh, thank you. I would, you know what? I would have got a lot further because every time I second guessed myself, I was right every time.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
was
no,
like,
that's it.
I was like,
How
man,
was
I,
it?
I
How
could
was
have
it
got one
me?
further.
Now
Hmm.
I done forgot what the host name is. How bad is that? I'm thinking
Oh,
of
Niecy
Sherry.
Nash.
Yeah,
Niecy
how
Nash.
was she?
Oh, she was super cool.
Oh, yeah,
Super
she seemed
cool.
like she is. She seemed like
Yeah,
she is.
she was super cool. Her and her wife, Jessica, because she worked on the show too, in the like the music part of it. So
Okay.
I actually got to meet both of them. Yeah, they were
Oh,
really
nice,
cool. The whole cast was super cool though. It was a
nice,
really great experience. So yeah.
nice.
Nice.
So what y'all talking about tonight? I just popped in, saw y'all on and just popped in. What's going on?
Just these stupid pickup lines that people be using on Tinder that don't make no sense.
Hmm.
Oh wait, pickup lines. Do you mean to tell me that men are still using pickup lines? Are women using them?
I highly doubt that. You know, I think honestly, I think these are the pickup lines for men to use, like for women, because there ain't no way in hell a woman's going to be implementing these type of lines when there's already a bunch of men that's pursuing them. You know,
So what are some of the pickup lines that's being used?
Do you like? Wait, there was one that
which
said, "Do
one?
you like shriveled fruit?" I
Oh,
don't.
we'll go. Oh yeah, we'll go back up to that one
Like what? Like what?
right here. Ocean Patrice, you can see it.
Are
Are
you
you a fan of shriveled fruit? Not me.
Are
Want to
are
go on
you
a
a
date?
are you a fan of what kind of fruit?
shriveled fruit?
Shriveled, yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
Like
Like
fruit that's like shriveled up, like it could be like, let's say like you have
Fruit that's
a
just
beverage,
old and been sitting out
yeah.
and it's all shriveled
oh
up.
okay, shriveled up food. Wow.
Yeah,
Like like that's a pickup line.
right.
Wow. You know, I think and I don't know if this is just the old school in me, but I think that for the most part, women
Hmm.
ain't really big on pickup lines like that. Like women just want to know that you can have a basic conversation, right?
Yep.
Oh, tell
Like
that to Simon.
I I think women just basically want to know if you could say hello, how are you doing? My name is such and such. You know, it's nice to cyber meet you because you conversing with them cyberly. So,
Yep.
I mean, what all of that old like what we doing? I don't pick up lines like to
Yep.
me that I don't know. That's kind of yeah.
Well, Ocean Patrice,
I'm
I
cool.
didn't even
I'm
think that they still exist.
uh,
I thought it was extinct a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think if you ask the average woman, what's a good pickup line, I would think that she would say that she's really not into pickup lines. Like, just be yourself and say hello and introduce yourself. Like, that's to me, like, I don't know. And maybe it's just me and I'm old school, but I
Well,
I
like,
never I never was into pickup lines, and it's nothing wrong with a guy because I was online or whatever dating and stuff, and there's nothing
mhm.
wrong with a guy saying hello beautiful, how are you? I've had
Yeah.
guys say hello beautiful, how are you, or hello gorgeous, or hello queen, or whatever goddess or whatever, right? You'd be like, oh, okay, how you doing, whatever, and just have the conversation, like introduce yourself, Like, what happened
Right.
to you introducing yourself and saying your name? My name is this, and I saw your profile and I read it,
Right.
and I'm interested, and I wanted to know if you wanted to hold a conversation. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that is, to me, is like the coolest thing I would think that a man could do is just be himself. Don't be coming with all these slick pickup lines,
Right.
like, hey, baby, do fries come with that shake? Because I'm looking at that picture and you looking awfully sexy. And like, I don't want to hear that crap. You know what I mean? So I would think just your average everyday woman that's looking for love on these dating sites just generally want to know if a man can hold an intellectual stimulating conversation,
Right.
basically.
Right, right.
Exactly. Exactly. See, ain't nothing wrong with old school, OG Patrice. Ain't nothing wrong with old school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 'cause especially when, in this day and age, it's hard for people that are running busy lives and running businesses and going to school and whatever it is you're doing, you got kids or whatever it is you're doing, in your busy life, people are busy. So it's
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong with, in my humble opinion, as long as you're taking precautions and you being
Mm-hmm.
careful, is you if you have to meet someone online. I know a few of my girlfriends met their husbands online, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And
Right.
especially in the last 2 years during the pandemic, how were you going to meet people when you were literally quarantining, right?
Right.
But if you were still looking for love, what did most people do? Get online looking for love.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. I
But
think because
the slick talk, you can keep that. You can keep the opening lines and you can keep all that fancy talk, all that slick talk, all that. Yeah, nah.
I think it's easier said than done because I think basically these opening lines is basically meant for people to try to stand out because most
Oh,
people
it's
use the
gonna make you
common
stand
words.
out. It's gonna
Oh
make
yeah,
you stand out, M3.
oh
It's gonna make
yeah,
you stand out.
yeah.
It ain't gonna make
To
you stand
left,
out in the right way, but it's gonna make you stand out.
That part.
mm-hmm, to
and
left, huh?
and depends on what your opening line is. Depends on what you
Mm-hmm,
Exactly.
draw, what type of women you draw to you, and vice versa too.
mm-hmm,
Depends on what the opening line is for a woman. If she come off really strong with a man online, and if it and men tend to shun women that do that, but there are some men that be like, hey, she down for whatever. You know what I mean? So
mm-hmm,
it depends on the opening lines and what you're going to draw from those opening lines that you say to people.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's necessarily true. Um, it just don't use like the casual like hey or hi because you'll have plenty of people that will do that. Even women start off with hey and hi, and then they gotta formulate some type of conversation because they didn't ask how was your day. They didn't ask like what do you want to see yourself 10 or 20 years from now. They didn't even ask questions. They just start off with hey and hi, and sometimes you may think, "Well, are
Yeah, I
you a
don't
robot?"
respond to that though. I don't respond
Mm-hmm.
to that. Like if it's
Yeah,
just a hi or a hey, I don't respond to that.
all highs and hays get
I, I
deleted.
I won't say that I won't. You know why? Because I think the hello or the hi is kind of testing the waters. Because some people are really, just say, they become more brave online because they actually can take getting turned down better online than they could in person. So they may say hi to a person that they probably never would say hi to in person, so there's a certain amount of apprehension there. And they just say, well, if she say hi back, then maybe I might have a chance, and then I can continue the conversation more. So I would actually respond to someone that just said hi, because I would respond back, hello, how are you? If I'm interested, right? if
Mm-hmm.
if he saw my profile and he said, oh wow, she's gorgeous or whatever, read my profile, boom, 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 and he'd be like, I don't know though. He may be thinking she may be out of my league though, I don't know. So maybe I'm just gonna say hi and just see if she'll entertain that. And then I look at his profile and I go, oh wow, he's handsome, whatever. Read his profile, it's all good, all good. And I may say, hello, how you doing? that's letting the man know that he can proceed to move a little further, right? So I hear a lot of times people have said that, oh, he just say hi. I'm like, that's not a conversation. Sometimes that's all it would always start with. If you met him in the grocery store, if you met him in the club, it's gonna be a hi. It's not gonna be a, all the time. Hello, how you doing? My name is such and such. Can I buy you a drink if you in the club, or if you in the grocery store? Can I pay for your groceries? It's not gonna
Mm-hmm.
be that. So sometimes just a
Angela
hello
Slinsky.
is a great starter of a conversation.
And speaking of hellos, hello to you, Adrian Ash. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, Adrian.
Adrian, since you're here in this chat, let me ask you this question because we're talking about like these, corny pickup lines that happens to resurface throughout the internet, and I thought like pickup lines was extinct, but I'm for sure that most people do not really appreciate a well planned out pickup line because to me, it just I don't know, it's just corny. But in this article, they feel like the way to win a woman over is to by using corny pickup lines to like make them laugh and giggle a little bit. But let me ask you this: have you ever been turned on by a man that gave you a corny pickup line? Again, have you ever been turned off by men who give corny pickup lines, Adrian? Or maybe it's a turn on for you. Let us know in the chat. Or if you wish to come up, feel free to. The StreamYard link is pinned to the top. In the meantime, let me go ahead and read like this one. If you could teleport anywhere in the world, where would you go to? Now, it's I'll say this. I give it like a 2 for being okay. 3 would be excellent. 1 would be just straight out terrible. 2, I'll make it fair because it's like, well, you're sparking some type of thought provoking type of question. So anytime you ask someone, well, if you had the power to teleport and do something, where would you initially go? So, and Adrian says, buy my groceries, please, and thank you. And I will cook them up nicely for both of us. Wait, that's the line. Wait, hold on. Buy my groceries, please, and thank you. And I will cook them up nicely for both of us. That's the line that the people will tell you to buy the groceries, or that's what you want to tell them to buy some groceries.
I think that's what she mean. I think she mean that would be her pickup line to the man is buy my groceries, please, and thank you, and I will cook for us both up nicely something. So I think that's probably what Adrian is saying.
That's what I was like kind of thinking. But speaking of that, we do have Adrian Nash in the building.
Adrian!
Can you hear us, Adrian?
Is she there?
Hold on.
Oh, can't hear anyone.
Can you hear us now?
I thought I just heard her.
Is anyone there?
Yeah.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can now.
Sweet.
Do you all see? Hey, all. Do you see what I'm bringing to the? Do you see what I'm bringing to the table?
Well, no, because you're on avatar
I
mode.
set that table, and I. No, my avatar. Can you see? Can you see what I'm bringing to the table? That is a delicious meal that I cooked once, about a month ago.
Okay. So you bringing you cooking the feast stuff for the man, huh?
Yeah, yes, and that linen tablecloth. I set that table, and That was table
It's
for one.
beautiful. It's
That was table
beautiful.
for one.
I'm looking at it on my TV, even though I'm on my phone,
Yes.
talking. But I'm looking at it on my big screen. It's actually really beautiful.
Yes. I get down like that.
Okay. Well,
Now, what
Angel,
is
let
this
me
with
ask
the
you.
corny pickup line now? What is this?
Okay, so basically, we're reading a bunch of like corny lines that people use for Tinder as an opening line. So, like
Mhm.
your very first lines that you will say to a woman or man, but let's just assume these are lines that men are using for single women. Let's say in this one, if you could teleport anywhere in the world, where would you go to? Some of them are not corny. Others, a few is like, okay, I like that line. I think that's perfect. But the most of them is like, that just sounds like a little bit too corny for me. And the thing is, they in this article, they believe that if you using a corny line to a woman, something that's so corny, that woman is gonna like you for those corny lines because you're making them
Mm.
smile. But my question that I asked to you earlier, Adrian, was that like, okay, do you, okay, have corny lines been like a turn on for you, or is it a turn off?
Um, I'm gonna say none of the above.
No,
Um,
no, no. Okay.
um, look, I'm really thinking about this now.
Mm-hmm. All right, no
Okay, so
problem.
so I like to laugh. Okay. So probably if I were to encounter a corny pickup line, I probably would laugh. I don't know that that would be grounds for a turn on though. For me,
Okay, that won't be grounds for a turn on for you.
for a turn on
Mm-hmm.
though. For me, like, I'm not just, I'm sorry, is this an adult channel? Are there are there children here?
No,
Uh,
no, I don't think
this,
they're in.
no, that's not made for
Like
kids, but kids are welcome
like
to watch, but not really.
like, you
We
know,
truly recommend 18 and above at least.
Yeah.
like my undergarments are not going to drop because of a pickup line. Let me just put it that way.
Okay. That's
Exactly.
fair enough. I like that term. Yeah.
Okay
But you
then.
know what too? You know what too? I think the corny pickup line or conversation or whatever should be later on after you kind of gotten to know the guy. And if he have a corny sense of humor or whatever, then you might laugh because it's actually corny. But I don't
Mm.
think like right off the bat the corniness will win me over. I think like once I've gotten to know the guy and he's like corny, then I would like laugh at some corny stuff he say or laugh at some jokes he say or something like that. But I think especially when you meeting someone online, like you don't want the corniness like right off the bat. Like, dude, I don't even know you, right? Like, and you
Mm-hmm.
coming at me with this corny crap, like because you literally are talking to them online. It's not like you see how they look. You're not seeing facial expression. You're not seeing body language. You're not really hearing their voice per se. So to me, the corniness would be a turn off totally. Now, once like I got to know him and I'll be like, okay, he real funny, got a corny sense of humor. I might actually enjoy some corniness in that, right? Like enjoy like laughing and joking like that. That could be
Mhm.
that could be an attraction, but it's like once you there already, not like right off the bat. Would you agree with that, Adrian?
Yeah, for me, I think that no. I know that for me, sincerity is what works for me. So I'm going to give an example.
Okay.
There was a YouTuber that I fancy. And probably in one of our first, like we were on a panel together and he was talking about how he had, I'm not, how did it go? He likes to take a woman out for steak and conversation. And I was like, I like steak and conversation. For me, for him, I think that was a sincere comment. And that was very attractive to me. You understand, sir?
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I would have been attracted to that too.
Mhm.
If the guy would have said, I like to go out to have, a nice meal and a nice conversation, or a meal and a drink and a conversation. That's something
Mhm.
to me, I think. But I think that's because we're more mature, Adrian.
Right.
I don't know how somebody younger would take that. Like the younger girls, like I don't know what they attracted to when it comes to
Right.
lines, when it comes to like corny lines or whatever from guys. Like are the younger generation attracted to that? But late to the fallout, that was actually a really good question to ask someone actually when you
Mm-hmm.
are getting to know them. Like I thought that question that was up there on the platform that you put up
Mm-hmm.
there about five senses. I thought that's a really great question. Like I like intellectual stimulating conversations like that. It makes
Right.
you really think about it. Think about that
Mhm.
answer for someone
Mm-hmm.
to even think to ask an answer like that. Like I'm attracted to that immediately.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like, see, questions like that make it more thought provoking. You know, it don't have to be like, oh, if you was the last woman standing on this earth or wherever, nothing ridiculous like that. But like,
What? What
it,
is this?
like have something that's more of like, okay, like if you're into like flowers, okay, like ask them like, all right, what do you do, to preserve a life of a flower that's wilting?
Uh-oh,
You know, what's that again, Adrian? We can still hear you.
I think I was losing you. Like my signal gets really strange.
Oh, okay, I get you. Yeah, you must. Are you on your cell phone?
I am.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, sometimes Wi-Fi go in and out, but yeah, just something that like
Mhm.
that sparks their interest already, and then just try to go along with that, and then just talk more about like, okay, what else are you interested in? What are your little hobbies besides what you're doing your profession? Who are you without your profession, and what do you do once you go back into like your work mode? I don't know, something that just makes people think or whatever. But like I said, I like the five senses because it's something that people don't really use often, or they don't say that often. I don't think a lot of people wonder, dang, what happens if I have like nine fingers? You know what I mean? Or what if like I can hear out one ear, or what if I can't hear at all? But I can see, I can still operate. Or what if I can't speak anymore or smell? So what could you really live, and what can you live without? And then later Fall says, after thinking about it for a long time, I choose touch. It's not a question to be answered in just a minute, but needs some thought.
I
Okay.
agree. I agree because ever since I put it up there, I thought about it and I was like trying to choose between sight and touch. And I was literally down to those two. Like I think I could live without having my sense of taste. Uh, but yeah, sight and touch for me, it's like running neck and neck. But it is a thought provoking question, right? That makes you think. Like I would ask a question, and people may think it's corny, but my question would always be, as a human being, if you had a superpower, a choice of a superpower, what superpower would you wish you would have? Now that makes people think too a lot because you get different
Mm-hmm.
answers. I hear people say, "Oh, I wish I was invisible. I wish I was, could fly." Like for real, for real. But if you really put some thought behind, like, dang, that's deep. If I had a superpower, what superpower would I want to have? It's actually a really thought-provoking a question as well.
Yeah, actually, that's listed in one of the unique questions. What's your superpower as an opening? Because it does hit a few key points as discussed. You know, it says it compels a response, it's an attention grabber, and it's considered a compliment. You're assuming that they're really good at something, so best of all, it's thought provoking. And likely will require them to send you a unique response rather than a boilerplate ones that they use to write up. So, let me see. I have to think of a long time. Yeah, but but yeah, I like that part. Like, the superpower one, because it, it's a little, it's a passive type of compliment, but it's fun. So, and oftentimes, you don't even have to use that as an opener. Even like if you're going on dates or something, or you're already getting to know that person, you can ask that question like sparingly, like, "Well, sure, if you had a superpower, what you gonna do?" You know. Let me see. Overall, the takeaway of this: say if you ever if you're ever drawing a blank on what to say on a dating app to start a conversation, try one of these lines above to get the ball rolling. The truth is that if someone is interested in you, they will write back to you, even if your first line is "the sky is blue." Have confidence to reach out first. Try to have no attachment to the outcome and understand that dating, especially on the apps, is a numbers game. The more you put yourself out there, the better your chance of making a match. This goes for women too, who aren't known for making the first move on Tinder. Okay? Or just dating apps in general, period. All right, dropped out. But
Yeah,
Adrian, definitely
Adrian dropped off.
in
But
to knowledge
let me
relationships.
let me ask you a question though. Well,
Yeah.
and I know you're a married man.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it was a single man up here. Because they do say men tend to always make the first move. What about if the woman made the first move on the dating app and she actually saw the guy that she liked and went forward and said hello to him first? See, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when you scrolling, you may see somebody before they see you, which is
True.
usually how it happens, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what would be your perspective on that as a man? If okay, because
Uh,
as a woman that's scrolling and see a man that she
mhm.
finds attractive and like, and she make the first move.
See, right there, I feel like everything else would just flow easy. Because the fact is that a woman's actually putting effort into trying to get to know me, that already gives boosts up my confidence, my level of confidence in knowing that, okay, she's actually going out her way, you know, to reach out to me. Now it's up to me to not mess that conversation up, but I'll just do the best I can to make sure that we keep the conversation flowing. So, and here's the thing: a woman who, well, let me put this just in general, okay? And so this again, Adrian, in general, when I feel like women should start approaching men, you know, like at least like have, we talk about equality and all these other things. I feel like, as many times that men does the approaching, and I know by nature and society, they put the pressure on us to do the approaching because that symbolizes leadership, and I get that. But however, excuse me, if you like a person, make it easier for him. If a woman just make it clear that she wants to be approached, the guy that you may think that's too shy to talk to him, I guarantee you right now he will be having like a longer conversation and they will have a better time because he knows now this woman have an interest in him. That makes him feel good and it makes him want to talk more. You know, But what happens is that the ones that they know for sure that they're attracted to, they play hard to get, and it confuses men, and it just doesn't make the man feel confident to want to approach that woman. Because now we're living in a world where these guys are literally terrified. I mean, I get it. You got the Me Too movement. You got women with bad attitudes, but not all the women have bad attitudes. But they
Yeah, that's
reject
true.
you in different ways.
I agree, but listen, this is the
Hmm.
whole thing for me. You own a freaking app to meet people, so like, how you gonna sit up there and be on an app to meet people? You want to date, you hope to fall in love, and all of that good stuff, and then you want to act like you playing hard to get. That's for the man or the woman. Like, why are you there if you gonna literally play hard?
It
To me, that's crazy, right? But I
is.
get what you're saying because you're right. Some people do that, women especially, and I don't understand all of that because as much, you know what go on in these YouTube streets with this whole relationship, man and woman, gender war, like crap. And then
Hmm.
when you are out here looking for love, if you truly are out here looking for someone, to be with, to spend the rest of your life with, to build with, or whatever, to me, if it's fair game no matter how you meet that person, because in this day and age with social media, there's nothing wrong with meeting nobody online. You could meet somebody online just like you can walk in the grocery store and meet them, you can go to church meet them, you can be at the laundromat, you can be in the club, it doesn't matter. People have met their spouses in so many various different ways, but now because of the dating apps and things of that nature and people leading busy lives working, it's hard to meet people. And if you're older, 9 times out of 10, you ain't going to no club, right?
Hmm.
Try to meet nobody. Like them days is over. Now I will say back in the day, that's how I met my husband. My ex-husband. I met him actually in a club. But like, I'm not saying it can't happen and it don't happen. I'm just saying that it's less and less and rarer now because of the difference in the change in the generations, and now because of social media. So I don't think anybody should be shamed or blamed or whatever as to how they met their spouse. The fact that they met their spouse and they fell in love and met someone that they want to spend the rest of their life with, that's the important part. It doesn't matter how you met the person. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, and like I said, especially over the last 2 years with, with the pandemic and people being in quarantine, wasn't nobody going nowhere. How in the world were you going to meet people? I got 3 or 4 friends that actually met their spouses on dating apps. One's been married over 10 years. The other one's been married 7 years. The other one's been married 3 going on 4 years. So it's like, so who's not to say that they never would have met each other, had it not been for the dating app, because they don't go out to clubs. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
when I say literally met each other, meaning they would have met someone, but it wouldn't have been them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
to me, it's meant to be for people that meet in that way. Because if you don't meet that person that you end up spending the rest of your life with, like the person you're married to, if you met them on a dating app, you never would have met her probably just in general in everyday life had you not been on the app and she been on the app. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I
No,
think
that's
we
true.
need to look at it like that.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
people are meeting on there and falling in love and getting married and literally changing their lives when they are in long distance relationships. One of my friends, she lived in a whole nother state and she was dating this guy, and they dated for a couple of years, travel back and forth, and then just imagine how hard it is just to meet somebody where you live. So imagine how hard it is when you're in another state trying to make that relationship work. And it got rocky for a minute, but it came down to a point where I believe for her, she was getting fed up with with the distance, right? And the decision had to be made. And when I talked to her, she was like, you know what? He gonna have to shit or get off the pot, or else I'm gonna go left, right? So she was literally getting ready to walk away from the relationship because she felt like being in it for a certain amount of time. She was a young woman. She's younger. She wanted to be married. She wanted to have a kid. This guy was a little older than her, had been married already and had kids already. So I think he wasn't trying, he was avoiding that, right? But
Mm-hmm.
he loved her enough and they made it work because what happened was she ended up leaving the state where she lived, moving to the state where he lived because it's more convenient. It was more convenient for her to pick up and change her career and move to the state where he lived because his business was in the state where he lived. So it was easier for her. And when you get to those points too in your life, it's like, okay, now we down to the serious part. Who gonna move? See, that was the whole nother thing too. So she ended up, taking up her life, moving, to Boston where he was because his business was in Boston because he couldn't leave his business. But so it's about sacrifices. So she made the sacrifice, moved where he was. He made the sacrifice, and he finally did marry her, and they got a kid now. And they,
Mm-hmm.
as far as I know, they doing very, very well. But it comes down to, what the people want and the compatibility. And she met him on a dating app. You know what I'm saying? So, for people to try to say that it can't happen, it's impossible and all of these things, I think, or shame or shun people because you meet
Salute, Central.
your
Mm-hmm.
spouse. To me, I don't think that's cool because it's no different from meeting somebody at a club or a church or in a grocery store. The only thing is you seeing them face to face. But when you meet them on the dating app, isn't the plan to eventually meet them in person?
Well, yeah.
Right. So the plan is to meet them in person at some point in time, and then if you have the physical attraction and want to, and the chemistry is good, and you want to continue to date them again and to see them again, and then that's how that cycle starts, right? So it's no difference. The only difference is when you meet them in person the first time, you already see the attraction is immediately there, and now you got to figure out if the chemistry is there. So that is the only difference between conversing, with somebody on a dating app and then eventually meeting them in person, than meeting them in person already the first time. Because you could be attracted to somebody and meet them in person on the first time, but then you go out on a date and you ain't got no chemistry. You see what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
either way, you don't know what you're gonna get. That's why it's not cool to like shame people that meet people on dating apps, because people have met their life partners on dating apps.
Mm. Yeah, actually, and I know like a few people who are married because they made each other online.
Yeah.
So, it's not a bad thing to, to try dating apps if it works for you. I just think that when you're using certain lines, it doesn't come off as authentic. But I know you want to have something that will catch like the most attention as opposed to the many other people, men and women, comment with the usual highs or hays or whatever. You want to, if you're going to say hey, start by asking a question based off what you read in a profile. And I think that's what will make it more genuine and unique. Because you're saying hi to them, but you also took the time to check out their profile as opposed to just picture swapping. Just look at a bunch of pictures here and there and be like, oh man, she's beautiful, she's hot. Did I meet my wife online? Nope, absolutely not. I actually met her from church.
See?
Mm-hmm.
But I think Southern Troll put up there about like the Tinder swindlers and things like that. And absolutely, you definitely have to be careful because it's men and women that are swindlers on dating apps. But they are men and women that are swindlers in life that you could meet at church, that you could meet in a club, that you can meet at the grocery store. They all over. It's just a matter of when you're online dating, is certain signs you got to look for to be aware of, that type of
Thank you.
conversation. You could start off with a conversation with them, and then they'll get to talking about, needing some money, and they in a certain position, and they stuck overseas. I came across one time where this guy was like, "Oh, I'm in Dubai," and it was a really bad. Southern Trust said she was joking. It was a really bad construction fire, and everything got burned, and I don't have access to no cash, and I already knew it was coming. I was like, "Here it comes." He was trying to, he was a swindler. He was trying to swindle women out of money. And you absolutely have to be careful for that. But you can walk in a grocery store and meet a swindler. You can. He could be a smooth operator, they're getting to know you, wine and dine you, and then he that same swindler that's on the dating app. The only difference is that one is hiding behind the social media, and this one is right here in your face trying to take you for every dime you got, every chance he gets.
Right.
So, it's both ways. It works both ways. You have to be careful and watch out for that type of stuff, women and men, because it happens on both ends. But yeah, it's all in how you utilize, the dating apps, and being very careful. When you're meeting that person for the first time, meet them in a public place for sure, where there are a lot of people around. You don't want to meet nobody and drive your own car. Don't let them come and pick you up. It's just things like that, and always let a friend know, a girlfriend or a guy friend, I'm going on a date. I'm meeting this person. I'm going to be at this place, and we meeting at this time. And, I should be back around this time. And if I'm not, text me or something, or, whatever. Or if I can get a break to go in the bathroom and text you or call you and let you know I'm good and stuff like that. You got to have safety precautions as well, too.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. You got to make sure that you stay safe, you stay prepared, and stay away from these social media swindlers, I would say. Welcome back, First Lady Tammy.
What's going on?
Nothing much. What's good with you?
I had to make myself something to eat.
I know that's right, Tim. gotta get that nourishment in.
Yes, absolutely.
Man, you make me want to go grab something to eat, like maybe make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or something. But anyways, yeah. Adrian says, how can you expect a relationship to last if you're not authentic and if you're insincere?
That's a good question.
Well, it won't. It won't. Believe me, those two things, not being authentic and being insecure, those two things will kill a relationship every time. Every time. And whether it's you that's the person that's not being authentic and sincere, or whether it's the person you're with that's not being authentic and sincere, it kills a relationship every single time.
It makes me think of, and this goes for men and women, but it makes me think of like the people who, man, like, okay, imagine like OG Patrice, like maybe as a kid, you really, really like this guy so much, but you don't know how to articulate or approach, which of course, it's the guy's job to approach now these days, but you just didn't really find the right words at the time to really make your intentions clear. So instead of being sincere about it, you're being insincere, and you're just being mean spirit to him. You're just like pushing him away, or you just try, or you're saying something, but more like in a joking type of way. But he doesn't really get the joke. He don't really know what you're doing. Oh, he's just like thinking that you don't like him because you've done so much to prove that you don't have the interest for him, which it was the complete opposite. And that's what a lot of these people in these relationships, they try to pretend to be someone that they're not.
Yeah, I mean, that goes back to like partially with what Adrian was saying. Most people that are insecure in relationships are insecure people as a whole in general. Most people that are not authentic in relationships are not authentic to themselves. They not true to themselves and things. And it's that is a character flaw, right? Like those traits are character flaws in people, right? And that's something that you know that person have to work on within themselves, you know, because any relationship they get in ain't gonna work. I don't care. They can try to convince themselves that it will, but it won't. You know, if you're not being authentic and you got insecurities, those are character flaws that definitely need working on. And probably at
Mm-hmm.
some point in time, everybody as a human being probably have felt some type of insecurity or some type of, you know what I mean, uh, situation where they have a character flaw within themselves that they need to work on, and that's that part of that self inventory, right? That I
Mm-hmm.
was speaking on early on somebody's platform, because you have to work on self first in order to be good for somebody else. You have to be good to yourself first in order to be good to other people.
Right. Mm. And
I don't
I
know what
definitely
you
like that.
think, Tammy.
I'm sorry, I missed it. I'm sorry, I'm eating my food. My
Oh,
food is
she
done.
eat. You know what? I was going to say, Tammy probably
Mm.
grubbing down. She ain't even paying
I
our conversation.
am.
Okay.
I really am. Okay, so what was the question? What was the question?
Ask it again, M3.
The question is like, it's about how to expect a relationship to last if you're not authentic and insincere.
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course, it's not gonna last. I mean, trust. Trust is a big thing, and when you're insincere, you're not trusting the person
Mm-hmm.
fully. And I mean, there's so many things that make relationships not work. Um, I mean, if you're being insincere, you're not being honest. And if I can't, you can't trust me enough to be honest, then we don't need to be together. So, and the thing about it is, you have to be somebody who can accept somebody's honesty, depending on what they're being
Mm-hmm.
honest about. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, the relationship's not going to. There's certain things that you have to have in order for a relationship to last,
Mm.
and those are things that you need. So it's interesting to ask, how can you expect a relationship to last? The reality is, some people have a delusion that it will last, and that's why they are insincere. And then they find out it doesn't, and then they still don't understand. They still don't want to take accountability for why the relationship just didn't work out.
Yeah, I can hear it. I did that. Like I said, people you gotta be like OG Patrice. I think you said this like in the beginning part of the stream when you came in. I know you mentioned that people should just be authentic, be themselves. Like you want to be yourself, but definitely be your best self. That's what I always like just tell people. Just be your best self because yeah, you're being yourself, but you're making sure that you are the best for yourself and not the worst. And that's pretty much just simple. Like, you know, I think people put like or they focus on too many on like labels. Like in dating relationships, you gotta be a high value man. You gotta be like well here's the thing. On the dating apps, however, right? And I forgot to put this disclaimer up here. Most of the time, okay, um, unfortunately, to being a man to kind of qualify, most people look for if you're 6 feet and above, you know, or if you're making a lot of good money, or if you have a six pack, you're physically fit. If you have all three of them, yeah, you definitely qualify, you know, to be on a dating app. But I think one of the major disqualifiers, something that man cannot really help, because a man can help build his finances, and he could lose weight and get in shape if he wants to. But the one thing that he cannot change, unfortunately, is his height. And because he can't change his height, that right there painfully disqualifies a lot of men that is under the pool of 6 feet. What you guys think about that? And this
Yeah,
is on
and
day now.
that comes with, yes, because most women, a lot of women want or is attracted to tall men or taller men, right? And I will admit, include myself, this is the thing. When you young, I think you got more choices, on the market. And even if you end up not finding everything on your little checklist, right? Eventually, men and women gonna have to learn to compromise. Gonna have to learn to be like, okay, well, he ain't got all three, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad. That's it. Eventually, it could come to that because it's kind of hard to find that whole package deal, right? Because that's the perfection, right? That's the perfection that you really want. That in actuality you may not get. He may be tall, he may be fit, but he might not be financially there yet. You know what I'm saying? Or he may be fit and financially, but not tall. Or so it'd be something missing. So you have to ask yourself, what are you willing to compromise to? Because you might not get everything you want, and that's just facts. You
Yeah,
know.
that's true. Mm-hmm.
So and especially coming up in age, like myself, sometimes it gets a little bit thin, a little bit thin, and that list gets a little bit shorter. That long list that I had in my 20s and 30s, I don't have that list now. And that's just real. And I think for anybody as they get older, they will see that list will definitely start to shorten.
Oh, dang. Okay. That's what usually happens, You have your list and you enjoy it now while you're, young and beautiful. But as you get older, um, things tend to switch up, and so I think that's where the reality will hit, and you have to like just kind of. I always have to say like lower your standards a little bit, or have reasonable standards. But yeah,
When you look
ladies.
at the population, when you look at the small percentage of men
Mm-hmm,
that are tall or men that are 6 feet and over
mm-hmm,
in America, it's very, very,
red.
um, very minimal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you may have to go with average height women, and that's okay if the man have all the other attributes, if he have all the other good qualities. That may be something you compromise. If you find the man attractive, if the chemistry is great, if he got all the other attributes that you like, but the height is the only thing that is stopping you, and you could be missing out on the good thing. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing wrong with trying to get like average like height guys or whatever. I mean, look, I'm 3 inches below 6 feet. You know, 5'9" or 5'9.5", whatever. Some people say I'm 5'10", but I go with 5'9" happily. And most guys like that I be around, yeah, you have some really tall men like 6'5" or whatever, but the majority of people who I usually run into, like, and I didn't really think about this, like, the most that I will see, like, in the height of a man, it's like 5'7" or 5'5", mostly, and it make me look like I'm the tall one, but I'm really not. But I didn't really realize that is like the average height for most men, around the 5'7" range. So I'm like, hey, go figure with that. You know, um, I mean, I'm glad I'm not like short, but I mean, I'll put it like this: in person, it's a lot more different than trying to qualify yourself on a social media platform. But that doesn't mean that you should not try, because there's a lot of people who are short but they have other stuff that is going on, and they still win women over. It just all depends. And Adrian says your resources and priorities change as you get older.
That is true, Adrian. Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Especially
Yeah.
the priorities in life,
Mm-hmm.
it definitely changes, because what I was aspiring and things in my 20s and 30s, now that I'm older, I don't even think about trying to achieve them, at this point in time in my life, certain
Yeah.
things, you know, because of that, the resources and the priorities. It's like other priorities come before that. When I thought in my 20s and 30s that meant everything, now I realize at the age I am now, it's like, no, it didn't. It really don't. It don't mean it ain't everything like it was to me when I was in my 20s and 30s. You tend to want everything now when you're younger. But when you get old, it's like, okay, patience, slow and steady can win the race still. I ain't gotta rush and do this so much. But in the younger generation I see now, because of all of the modern technology and things can get to them so fast. It's like they want it and they want it now. I want it now and I want it now. I want it now. That's how I was in my 20s and 30s. So I get it. But
Mm-hmm.
it takes them to get older and mature to realize sometimes the patience of it all and just waiting and glad things didn't happen to me like I wanted them to then. Man, I look back now in retrospect and be like, man, I'm glad, because that would have been a hot mess had had that really went down like that or happened like that for me. Like that wouldn't have been a good thing. So yeah, definitely have a different perspective. As at this age, at my age, over 40, over 50, than you do when you 20s and 30s.
Mm-hmm. Adrian also asks us, who is having all these requirements? You got ladies want to answer that, Tammy?
You
Um,
know, go. Oh, Timmy. Okay, yes,
yeah,
please
yeah,
answer.
I'm here, I'm here.
I was waiting on you to get through eating. I'm like, I'm gonna let you
Yeah. I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with. I think you're supposed to have standards. I think when it comes to being picky is where it gets to be a little ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think what happens is standards should be things that, um, like being picky. I think is based on things that some people cannot change. Like when you guys are talking about like the height, like a guy can't change his height. If he's short, he's short. If he's tall, he's tall. There's certain things that don't really know. And then the picky things, I think you should have standards with things that, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, things that really don't, things that really are as far as character. I think picky is things. I think picky is based on things that that really don't really show you who the person is. Like their height really doesn't show you who they are. The type of job they have can show you who they are, but not always. And those are things that really are not things that you should necessarily that should really matter. So those are things that can be negotiable. Um, you know, honest is a non-negotiable thing. Like that's not something I'm willing to compromise on. Integrity is not something I'm willing to compromise on. Ambitious is not something I'm willing to compromise on. Those are things that somebody can change, whereas those superficial things are things
Mm-hmm.
that some people just cannot change. Like I said, they can't change their height. They can't change necessarily, where they are at the moment as far as like what kind of car they drive at the moment. And those things are things that shouldn't matter. Those things don't really change anything about the person. Whether they're tall or short doesn't really matter as far as who that person is. Um, but I think the thing is, some people have these long lists of things that really don't make any kind of sense. So I think when it comes to having a list and requirement, things on there should be things that that really show, like I said, that show you who that person is. And that's, I think those are the things that that are non-negotiable, that you shouldn't have to compromise about. Whereas other things, you can be lenient on those things, even with distance. I mean, if somebody doesn't live that far, if somebody lives far away from you, that really doesn't show you if that person's a good person or not, just because they don't live close enough to you. But those are things that you can work with. Those are things that really does not affect who that person is. Their height. You might like somebody who's tall, but be open to somebody who might be short, because they might be a really, really great person. So certain things, I think are okay to be, to kind of not necessarily care about, I could say. Whereas others, there's things you need to care about. And you want to date somebody who you guys are on the same page. So, certain things, as far as if you're somebody who wants to have kids and this person says, I don't want to have kids, that wouldn't be somebody you'd want to get in a relationship with, because the reality is that they may never change their mind. And so you shouldn't have the idea in your head that, well, maybe they'll change their mind down the line, because they might not. And then you're going to regret, you're going to hold it against them, or just look at them a certain kind of way just because, well, I thought they were going to change their mind and they didn't. Well, this is who they were when you met them. So I think that's another thing, is that some people have this idea that the person's going to change down the line. So they have this fantasy idea about who somebody will be, rather than looking at who that person currently is. And looking at, is this somebody who I could see myself dating long term? But
now, I actually agree with that, Tammy, 100%, because especially with women, we tend to do that, right? When we see the writing on the wall, we see the sign, from men when they say, I don't want to get married again, or I don't want to have children, or, and we tend to think that we can be that person that changed their mind or make the difference, or something we gonna do that's gonna be so special, that's gonna make them have a change of heart.
Right. And I speak from experience, because when I was younger, I would meet a guy and the guy would say, I'm not looking for a relationship. And I was young, so I was like, oh, well, he just hasn't met somebody like me. And I know once he starts dating me, he's going to change his mind. And it's like, no. If he says this is what he doesn't want a relationship, you need to hear what he's saying, that he doesn't want a relationship. Doesn't mean he's going to change his mind down the line. So, I think that, and I think that's just part of the problem, is that, sometimes people tell you, they show you who they are. And I do believe in that statement, that when somebody shows you who you are, believe them. Because like I said, when it comes to being with somebody long term, these are things you need to think about. Because this person, if this is somebody who's not motivated, has no ambition, you can't sit there and think, well, maybe down the line they're going to want to get a job. No, if this is how they are now, you need to think, is this somebody who I can accept as they are? If they end up changing and making improvements, then that's different. But my thing is that if you choose to do that, I want it to be because you choose to do it, not because I was pushing you to do it. I want it to be because you want to do it, because I don't want down the line you say, well, I'm only doing this because you wanted me to. Like, we don't need to have that. So it's about accepting people as they are. Because like I said, especially as you get older, some people are very set in their ways. And some people are not going to change. So accept people as they are. And I think that, like I said, I think the problem is that some people just are not willing to do that. You get in a relationship with the fantasy of who somebody is rather than who they actually are. So yeah.
All right, well, ladies, I'm going to have to wrap this up tonight because I got to get ready for work. But this was definitely a fun and intriguing conversation. Tammy, good to see you as always. OG Patrice, thank you for coming on to the platform and sharing your perspectives.
No problem.
I think it was more fun than just me reading this whole list by myself for like a long time, because man, it was drying out my throat. So I don't know if I should get some tea or some water, but yeah, thank you guys for coming through and holding it down.
You're welcome. I just think that whole article was a little corny in and of itself to even know that
Yes.
like these are the measures of like conversation lines that people are literally having and asking. And I don't know, I just think some of the stuff they put in these articles and things, like I hope people ain't really like falling into that. Just be yourself, that should be enough for the right person. And if it's being yourself is not enough for that person is not for you. Period.
Hmm.
Exactly.
The fact that people are still, well, here's the thing: the fact that the article is still up there and is posted, that kind of shows that people are still struggling in relationships, which that's the true elephant in the room. It's the fact that people don't know how to build. So you think these are the solutions, and now you have a bunch of people. I don't know if they're dating coaches or whatever, but now you have people like them that just flat out just taking advantage of these people by giving them worthless
M3.
advice. Hmm.
M3, you know why people don't want to put in the effort to make it work and build? It's because people want people to already come with ready made this, ready made that for them, and they ain't put in nothing with that person to get to them. And that's the reality of like what men and women got to stop doing. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the women, they want to coming in, want the man to be this high value man, but are you a quality woman to qualify for that high value man? Or the man want the woman to be submissive to him, but are you worthy of the submission? See, that's the cognitive dissonance for me that we are like not talking about and missing the mark on. That women want this, men want that, but there's cognitive dissonance on both sides. You the high value man, but you want this, that, and other in the woman that a lot of times they saying the high value man got the choices, or whatever, and he could cheat because he a high value man. I call bullshit on that. I'm sorry. And then the woman, wants the high value man, but what is she bringing any equality to that relationship?
Hmm.
Or you know what I'm saying? And or the fact that the man wants the woman to be submissive, but he's not worthy of submitting to. Like it's crazy to me. A lot of the hypocrisy in that.
Yeah, no, you grilling it out, OG Patrice. Like it's so much like on one side of the coin, and then you flip to the other part, then they want to switch off. You know what I mean? And the thing is, like, okay, like you have people that would be like, okay, well, there's an example I'm trying to think because it's an example of like how men will complain about. It was something about men will complain about a woman doing something, and I'm trying to remember what it was. But basically, in their complaint, it's like if the woman does something, that makes her a certain type of way. But then if she doesn't do it, then they get upset. If I could remember at the moment right now, I would definitely call out. But it's something that most men usually talk about women, and I cannot think at the moment. Probably because I'm like half tired, but it will come to me hopefully. But the
Oh,
point
okay.
is like there's always a contradiction to anything that people say, like in dating. You know, a woman will want a man on dating apps that's 6 feet and this, and that. But in reality, like you fall in love with someone that's the total opposite. So everything is different between online and then the real world that you go out. You know what I mean? So it's better for most men to like really like try to approach and have a conversation in person. But if you feel like the dating apps is going to lead you somewhere, then do the best of your ability to make yourself more marketable.
Absolutely. I think, women got to work on themselves first. Men have to work on themselves first, and then you could come together. Because the onus is on both men and women. I think it's pretty much equal 50-50. I'm hearing men blaming women and women blaming men. Let's all just take responsibility in this. Let's just call it a truce, 50-50. All women ain't, all these women ain't perfect in doing what they supposed to do, and all these men ain't either. you know and you but you hear one side from the opposite sex all the time talking about the opposite sex, and that's the part right there for me. It's like, okay, like women ain't the only ones that's nefarious out here doing stuff and ain't being submissive and ain't this and that. It's men out here that ain't on their business either. So let's just call a spade a spade. It's on both ends. Stop it. I'm gonna need both sides to stop the cap and try to blame only one side. It's both sides. Work on self and then try to come together.
I like that. Work on your best self so that you could be better for the next person.
I agree with that, OG Patrice.
That part.
Yeah. Well, ladies, I'm about to go ahead and I'm going to wrap it up. But
All right, sir.
no, you do have a show that's come up like this Sunday.
That is correct. I do.
And I know you've been getting like a lot of notice, like on your Sunday show. So definitely we'll give you an air horn for that because you have so much people that's up, supporting you, give you like a lot of love. So we definitely want to make sure that we extend that love even further and beyond. So stay tuned for OG Patrice's Straight Up No Chaser Talk with OG Patrice this Sunday at 3 o'clock Pacific time. Okay. Which will be 4 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Yes. Okay. Out on the East Coast, that should be 4, 5, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, you guys figure out the time zones. But anyways, make sure you guys tune in. One last thing, real quick. Since we have a good number of people that's watching us. Okay. So please, I always stress this a lot. Please, please, please comment after the show. Look, you could just type in A, B, C, D, E, F, G or emoji, but just comment when the show ends. Okay. I've been saying this for a long time, and I don't know why people don't do it, but when you comment after the show and the more people comment, that is the fastest way to build the algorithm and draw attention for people to watch the replays. When people are liking it, they're placing comments, and also when people subscribe too, which, the people who are here have subscribed, but I need you guys to like, comment, and if it's not too much, please share tonight's video so hopefully someone else could be entertained as well too and subscribe. But the more support we have, the better it'll be. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Knowledge and Relationships here on YouTube. Stay tuned for other upcoming shows. Our next show will be Wednesday because we will have a live talk with Mr. Bruiser. So this will be a fun and interesting conversation to have. And, like I said, stay tuned for many more. Remember, OG Patrice's show is this Sunday. And also, best wishes for Miss Cubilla. Hopefully you get well soon, sis. And, and that's pretty much it. But other than that, shout outs to the whole Knowledge Relationships gang. Also, get well soon, DJ Eddie King. Hopefully you recover well soon. And
get well soon, DJ Eddie King, and prayers to you, brother.
Yes, prayers to all like the Knowledge Relationships fam, man, and the ones that's going through it. So with that said, man, many blessings to all, and I wish you guys definitely a good night. And remember, again, comment after the show. If there's 7 people watching or 8 people watching, 8 people should already place a comment. Please do that for me. Thank you, everybody. And
Peace. Salute.
out.
Have a good night.
Later.
Knowledge and relationships.